How's it going, everyone? Yep, Movie and Game Lover 98 here. And yep, today I'll be doing a chat stream for January 20th, 2023. So yep, I hope some people are welcome to join this chat stream. Because I wanted to do something, just chat about, some stuff that's coming up for this year and just chat about anything in general. And yeah, I've already been seeing a lot of comments saying all those random stuff and oh, what did he say? Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker says once I start the stream I'll be rejoined. Well, it's already started, Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker, so I'm going to provide the link. Let me do that. And Gum says this better not be another error date like yesterday. And it wasn't an error date, Gum, because I couldn't do a stream Thursday, which was yesterday anyways. Like I said, Tuesdays and Fridays are my usual days to do streams. And how Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker asks, hey, how's it going? Great, Thomas and PBS Fan Program Breaker. I'm also going to provide, hopefully let Flicka join, hopefully.
Hey, how's it going?
Thomas and Gum.
Hey, how's it going? I finally joined.
Let me get Gum.
Hello.
Gum, welcome to the chat stream.
Yeah.
Notice you have.
How are you guys doing? Good?
Oh, it's going good. I just got home from school 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I know. I think some people like to stay after school to do stuff.
Yeah.
Perform for like choir concerts or sports.
Yeah, I know.
And Akoza says hi. Hi, Akoza. And yeah, I think I saw something on your thing right there on your screen, Gum. Is that a Pokemon I Choose You?
Yes, because something funny story yesterday, and before I get to that, I just want to say that I saw that you had this set for yesterday. Was that an error date?
No. I just realized my brother is home on Thursdays, so like Fridays and Tuesdays are my easiest days to do stream. And Thomas LMP Fan 123 says, hey Thomas LMP Fan 123. And like I said, I hope Flicka does also join because I asked him about.
Me too. And maybe Jake Mine as well.
Yeah, I provided him the link as well, both of them.
Oh, okay.
And through the chat on the stream too.
Oh yeah, don't forget.
Huh? Oh. I was just saying, like, we can chat about other things, but when Flicka joins, I'll eventually he wants to show us Clifford the Big Red Dog collection on both just in TV.
Okay, but I'll still stay in the stream though. But
yeah,
I got to tell you something. So don't forget about my next stream that I'm doing next weekend. Yeah.
What's it gonna be on?
My early birthday stream.
Oh yes, next weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm definitely joining, and I'm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So like yesterday, hey, someone like made a clip of from my Pokemon collection video, and they showed me showing my bootleg copy of this off that I got rid of years ago, and.
Oh, see, I never had bootleg copies of DVDs at all.
Oh yeah, have you guys heard about what happened to Alec Baldwin?
What happened?
Kill someone.
So yesterday he was falsely charged for something he didn't do. Like I heard that yesterday on the radio.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. I mean, he was the narrator for Thomas and Friends from seasons 5 to 6, and then 20 years later, something happened.
And also for Magic Railroad, if you want to count that.
Yeah, I think I might count it as canon or non-canon. I don't know, but I think you should probably watch the Unlucky Tug's recent video about his review on Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I think he said that. I think he said it's okay, or maybe it's not. It's terrible, but I thought it was a great film.
Yeah, and I'm pleased they released. I'm still pleased they released Magic Railroad onto Blu-ray for the 20th anniversary because, well, they said they had some deleted those PT Boomer leaked like deleted scenes and stuff like that can be viewed on the Blu-ray as well as the 20th anniversary DVD.
Yeah.
I know. I wish I could have gotten that Blu-ray early like Gum did, but fortunately I never did get the chance.
Yeah. And it would be nice if there was a movie. Well, no, not a movie, but if there was a Thomas and Friends special called The Adventure Continues, which would be probably made during the Wubba series. Or, yeah, I think it was because it would celebrate the 75th anniversary, but I'm not sure. But it would have been nice if they did that. But unfortunately, that never happened because of the stupid All Engines Go reboot.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. At least Wubba, as much as I don't think Wubba is great, to be honest, but I still think it's tolerable at least.
Yeah,
and I think it is canon.
Yeah. And also, may I ask you this, Gum? There was another GameCube game that didn't work in my Nintendo Wii that plays GameCube games.
What is it?
Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Oh, and by the way, is Thomas and Friends the only show I like? No, because there's actually another show I like, but it's also produced by Hit Entertainment fully, and that's Bob the Builder. Yeah, I think Thomas and Friends and the Bob the Builder are the only two shows I like.
Yeah, Thomas LP Fan 123.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Doing great, Thomas LP Fan 123?
Yes, I am.
Great. Yeah, I'm just hoping to have some other guys join, like I said, Jake Martin, and because I know I want to combine my stream with Flicka's, because I asked him there's a way we can combine his stream. He shows his collection while I talk about other stuff.
Yeah. And
we take, Yeah, we take turns doing our streams on a Tuesday and a Friday. Like, since this week I got paid from work, I like to do both streams on both Tuesday and Friday. But next week I'm just going to do one on Tuesday.
Yeah. And maybe if you want, we can share our stream as well.
Yeah, you can.
Sure.
I mean, you can show your stuff while I show off. Possibly I'll probably do something else, and I'll probably show off part 4, the final part of my Thomas Home Media Collection stream, the whole version.
Yeah.
That one I left off on Tales on the Rails, and I'm going to start off on the final part of part 4. Start Your Engines.
Yeah, I think in part 4 it's going to be the shortest Thomas collection, right?
Well, it's going to be the shortest one of showing off the last releases of part 4. Because, remember, part 1 I started from Thomas Gets Tricked, and I got to Hooray for Thomas.
And
part 2 I got to Thomas's Sword Celebration to Schoolhouse Delivery. And then part 3 I got from Blue Mountain Mystery to Tales on the Rails.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did get to watch part 2, but I hadn't because I was busy.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're almost done with high school, nearly there.
Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, Bob the Builder. Bob the Builder. I think Thomas and Friends and Bob the Builder are the only two Hit Entertainment shows I like.
Yeah, even though The Wiggles is Hit Entertainment, but I think Australia's, even though Hit Entertainment is from the UK and Wiggles is from Australia.
Yeah, I never watched The Wiggles before, but if I could say in one word, I think it's okay.
But I definitely like the ones with Greg as the Yellow Wiggles, the best ones.
Yeah, but The Wiggles, I never watched it before, but I thought it was okay. What was another Hit Entertainment show?
Barney.
Barney, I think it's meh. I forgot about Barney and Friends, but I don't care for it, to be honest.
If they got rid of the songs, then maybe I would care for it, but
oh,
that's just a
did I forget to tell you that I one time used to have a Barney DVD released by Lionsgate?
Yeah? Was it a reprint of one of the older releases, or was it just a Lionsgate release of a newer release?
I think it was a newer release.
Okay, because I don't like the ones where Riff the dinosaur appears. Yeah, Gum, I don't like the ones with Riff the dinosaur appearing in the later seasons of Barney. I just like the ones with just the 3 main dinosaurs, the 3 originals.
Yeah. And I remember I used to have a Barney CD as well when I was little. Like, I think I remember I used to listen to it every single time whenever I go on a family trip. That was only when I was little, okay?
Yeah. But yeah, I was going to also tell you, Gum, that yes, now I have 2 GameCube games that don't work in my Wii for some reason.
What is the other one?
SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, the original, and Need for Speed Wanted.
That's right. You told me about the SpongeBob one.
Yeah, it still sucks. I'm probably gonna have to just take my Wii to get fixed. I think because one time when I was hanging out with my friend, I think one of her relatives accidentally kicked over my Wii by accident.
Wow.
Maybe that's why the disk drive is all messed up, so I'll probably have to get it fixed.
At least you're like better than have the motivation to do that, unlike someone else who has a Wii U but doesn't work. Disk drive doesn't work.
Yeah, the disk. Well, it's probably like that the disk drive is just kind of can be finicky and can just not accept disks sometimes. Like I said, I even tried to like swap the power supplies to even get my SpongeBob BFBB game to work still, but it would like even when I tried to load the game, it would still freeze. So that's why I'm gonna have to get it on OG Xbox for PlayStation 2. But even though I have an OG Xbox, I can just get the Xbox version.
Yeah. And I can't remember who produced Bob the Builder, the reboot version, as much as I don't like the reboot, but who produced it, by the way? Was it Mattel?
I think Mattel might have done it, Thomas and PBS Program Breaker, just Thomas and PBS Program Breaker for short.
Yeah, I think it was Mattel, but God. I didn't like the reboot. I prefer watching Ready Steady Build. Even though some of the characters acted out of character, at least the CGI animation, at least Bob is in his original format, unlike the reboot here. And I know in Ready Steady Build they did introduce a new character named Scratch. To be honest,
Scratch is an interesting character in the Ready Steady Build of Bob the Builder.
Well, what you said?
Scratch the Machine. You said about the new character called Scratch in Ready Steady Build of Bob the Builder.
Yeah. Oh, what were you saying about him, Scratch?
Do you find him a good character, or is it a she character like Dizzy and Mom?
He's actually a he character, apparently. I looked it up.
Okay.
Yeah, Scratch was okay in my opinion. I mean, sure, he can be a bit whiny at times. Like, for example, I remember I watched one episode where Scratch was trying to deal with a soccer ball. I think I used to watch it on PBS or something.
Yeah, and you know what also bothered? What I was also scared about? I thought Lofty was going to be considered a she in Bob the Builder, but it turns out it is a he. But unfortunately, it's got some girl actor voicing Lofty.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at least the CGI animation, while it's probably not as good, I think it's tolerable at least. I mean, in the original series, they were in Bobville originally.
Yeah.
And then in the Project Build It one, which I think I grew up between the original series and Project Build It, but in Project Build It, they do still continue using the puppets, I think.
I think they do, yeah.
Yeah, they do continue using the puppets for the characters, but except it takes place in Sunflower Valley. And then Ready Steady Build, full CGI animation, but it goes back to Bobville. Which, to be honest, I thought Ready Steady Build was okay. I'll be honest, but yeah, I think it's far more watchable. Okay, even though some of the characters act out of character.
Yeah, and I know for you, Gum, I was gonna also tell you this. I was playing some more of my GameCube games on my Wii. Oh yeah, there's the game you're showing me, Gum.
And the remake.
Yeah, there actually my brother got suspicious of me for selling me the remake. Okay, hold on. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna add this person. I want to wait for Flicka or Jake Martin to join. I provide the link. So anyway, what was it? Yeah, the remake. I should have actually kept because I could just play multiplayer in the remake and just play through the adventure mode in the original. I watched your video, of you playing multiplayer on the remake.
Yeah, but I ran into some sort of glitch. I'm not sure how to get past that. Oh wow.
Yeah. Man, even though I know you don't have a PS5 yet either, Gummer, do you or no?
No.
Okay, I don't think you have any of the PlayStations aside from maybe PlayStation. which PlayStation console do you
Alright,
have, or
I'm
do you not
back.
have any?
Well, I used to have the
let me
PlayStation 2,
find
but
my-
I gave it to a friend.
Here it is.
Which PlayStation Gummin?
The 2.
I can't.
Okay. The reason I have a PS2. Well, I just mainly share it with my brother. You know, it's even though, well, you know what? Because even though both of us should be using our own money at our own paces now, because
Most likely
if I bought the
Mattel.
remake back, I'll just play multiplayer with someone.
And yeah, the new game, SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake, is coming out soon.
I heard of it, but I just don't know if I'll get it yet because I have to focus on getting my own apartment right now.
Hello?
Oh yes, Thomas. I was talking.
Oh, okay, there we go. It works. Okay. Oh, I just need to put on.
And I keep forgetting to answer questions. And Akosa says, "What are my thoughts on the Rugrats? Really good cartoon from the '90s." And Koza also says, "I don't want to buy PS5. I got PS3, but not PS5. I'm done for buying consoles. I know I need to wait. I can't buy any more consoles yet because I need to focus on getting an apartment, like I said." Because I know if you got once you get your own college dorm, Thomas, that it might be harder
Well,
for you.
Actually, I'm going to start off with a community college.
What's a community? I've heard of community colleges, but I never went to them, honestly.
Well, community colleges, I heard that. Well, they're basically like high school a little bit, but it's full college though, at least.
Okay, because I never did
It
that.
helps you prepare for when you go to university.
Oh,
apparently.
so
Yeah.
but yeah. And Thomas and Friends Fan 2007 says I have an Xbox One. That's cool, Thomas and Friends Fan 2007. But
I have an Xbox One too, by the way.
Oh, you do? That's cool. I mean, I know
Originally, I
you.
used to have an Xbox 360, but now I got an Xbox One for Christmas of 2020, and I even got new games one time. Like, have you ever heard of Minecraft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard of
I got
Minecraft.
Minecraft for my 16th birthday 2 years ago in 2021,
Wow.
and I got more games as well. Well, yeah, I got some more as well, but yeah, Minecraft is the one I like the most. But there are other ones I do like.
That's
I
cool. And
make
also,
some great builds in Minecraft. Like one time I built Luigi's mansion in Minecraft.
that's cool, Gum. And
Oh
also,
yeah. Huh?
And also,
What?
Gum, I also will ask you this. Even though yes, you don't care for Melee, right? Have you tried it out in your Nintendo Wii or no?
I think so, but I'll have to test it out eventually. But if the disc works still.
If it does, maybe give me like a community post to say give it a shout, give it an important message for me and the other viewers to say unfortunately my Melee disc unfortunately doesn't work in my Wii or if it does play fine.
Well, I could go do it now, actually.
Well, yeah. I just don't want to hear the you know what. We don't want to get copyrighted.
Oh, you won't. I'll have myself muted when that happens.
Okay, 'cause I mean, well, yeah, you'll just tell me once you eventually we'll mute the microphone and you'll just tell me because like I said, I think just sometimes it's just the Wii disc drive fault finicky and just be flimsy sometimes and just not accept discs sometimes. And Jordan 2002's Corner of Nostalgia says, one question, what do you guys do on Xbox Live? I don't have Xbox Live, Jordan, because I don't have an Xbox, one of the Xboxes, honestly.
Yeah, I don't have Xbox Live either. All I have is Xbox One and Xbox 360 console. Even though I don't use the 360 one anymore, I use my one console nowadays.
Well, did you know that the 360 games will work in the Xbox One, Thomas?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I mean, it just depends on what games you have, because I don't think not all of them are compatible, because, like, it's just not that they just haven't released it. I think you have to have a certain update to make it work. That's what I know.
Okay, you mean like, for example, Minecraft 360 version?
Yeah, I think you have to have like a specific update, even though I think you have the Xbox One version of Minecraft.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so, well, yeah, I know you don't have any Nintendo consoles like me or a backwards compatible Wii that can play GameCube games.
Well, I do have a Nintendo 2DS.
Okay, it's the standard 2DS, but I have the new 2DS XL that's like the all the other DS XL models, but it can play 3DS and DS games, and it doesn't use the 3D slider, which I'm pleased about because I don't like use the 3D that much.
Yeah, and
No.
and who also thought that seasons 8 through 11 of Thomas and Friends have the best camera quality?
I think it looked nice. I think it had the coolest camera thing in my personal opinion because it's luckily this one is also like the full CGI series. At least they don't have like the people's shadows or hands on the set of on the edge of in the way of the set.
Yeah, I know, like the crew member, and I know and at least like all the engine's lamps, like for example Thomas's lamp, at least it's not properly crooked like it was for like the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Like Thomas's lamp was crooked in seasons 1 through 3.
Well, I don't know. I know it was for the first 2 seasons, but I think it was a little bit in seasons 3 to 5.
Okay.
And I know Percy didn't get his. I don't think Percy got his permanent lamp until season 5. Well, season 5 or 6.
Well, in seasons 3, 4, and 5, Percy will sometimes have the lamp on his front, but I know other times he just won't. That's
Yeah,
why I
but
like
season 6 onwards, he permanently has a lamp.
And yes, like, even though it's strange, how in the episode The Fogman, Thomas and PB Program Breaker, like, the big engines don't even have their lamps on the front when they're at the sheds, but for some reason when they're puffing in the night, they do have their lamps.
Yeah, thankfully the CGI seasons, all the engines wear their lamps permanently, no matter the weather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that they started doing that, to be honest. And yeah.
Also, like, when we did the part, what if we do the part from Gordon takes a tumble when Sir Tom Hat scolds Gordon, like after he crashed?
Yeah, but you do both the US dubs and I could do the UK versions.
Okay, well, I'll do them in order. So we'll do Alec Baldwin, US version first. He goes, he found out soon enough. Well, Gordon, said Sir Tom Hat, you wanted to show Salty a thing or two, and you certainly have done that. You showed him how silly it is to ignore go slow signs. Sorry, sir, said Gordon. Let him sad we should steam.
I feel like since 2021 or 2022, I started to sound like Alec Baldwin's depression narration or something.
Well, yeah, that's true, because, even though, yes, Alec Baldwin's narration is kind of weak in the other episodes of Season 6, but at least some episodes he did kind of good.
Yeah, like the pack episodes. More dirt means more fun. I'm Alfie. Oh,
yeah.
Wait, isn't it? Oh, no, I can't. Let me find that. Let me mute the microphone.
Okay. Yeah, and Thomas LP Fan 123, have you anything cool you have upcoming for this year? Oh, wait, he's muted. Okay. And Jordan 2002's Corner of Nostalgia also says, that was one great impression. I'll give you that. Nicely done. Thanks. I'm really great at some impressions, What else can I say while the others have their mics muted? Well, I'm just trying to...
More dirt means more fun. I'm Alfie.
Oh, Pete.
Dandy, why you should look like an
Don't ask, man. Hi.
Yes, Thomas.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I was just wondering, do you have some cool stuff planned for this?
So I went to test this out and it did not work.
Oh, that sucks! Doesn't that suck?
That
was back with me gum. My disc had a ton of scratches on it. It would not play. Wait, do your other Smash Bros. Games work?
Oh, I know her ball still works.
So unfortunately, no Melee will be shown in your channel.
Yeah, but if I could get this device to clean disk to work, then
yeah, I don't think your disc. I don't think your disc is that kind of scratched, gum.
It's hard to tell on camera.
Okay, well, I mean, you'll have to look it off like when you leave the stream eventually soon. well, eventually later, once the stream's over. But like I said, yeah, your Brawl game works fine, but does your Smash for 3DS work?
Yes, because it's pretty new. I've rarely used it.
Okay, there's the JFJ Easy Pro. Like this game, or did you just are you still working on trying to get it?
No, on what?
I was saying, is that did it just come?
I got it like a month ago.
Wow, wow. Even like after the collection video was for the video games were done. I think to clean, like I said, yes, for GameCube games, you have to have like a smaller adapter to clean GameCube games because they're smaller than Xbox and PlayStation games.
Found that out the hard way.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to do my impression, but I'm only gonna do the one at the beginning because I'm kind of used to that. I'm doing the UK revised version of Gordon Takes a Tumble. So it goes like this: Watch out, Gordon wished. You'll get my paint all sooty. Pulling trucks is a sooty job, sooty, but then you wouldn't know. Of course not, Gordon huffed importantly. Express engines don't pull trucks. It wouldn't be dignified. Dingified, puzzled Percy. What's that? Dignified, Gordon corrected. It means that someone is too big for his buffers, teased Salty. Pah, said Gordon, and he puffed away. That was the revised version used in Season 9 airings, the UK version.
Yeah, did you know that the Gordon Takes a Tumble, well, Michael Angelis revised version, but the Michael Brandon US redubbed version is on the PBS Kids airing with Emily Knows Best and Thomas's Day Off, Thomas and PBS Program Breaker?
Yeah, I know I did, because I remember watching it. I can't remember any other Season 6 that were paired with Season 9. I think it was Percy and the Oil Painting, James and the Red Balloon, and Thomas and the Rainbow. Oh, and I did... Huh?
I'll have to look through the airings again just to be sure, because
yeah.
well...
And also...
Life Blue Yoshi Fan 02 says A Life Blue Yoshi Fan 02.
There's also a goof, by the way, on the Island of Sodor intro for Lost and Found. Like when it shows when they said, the narrator says, today on the Island of Sodor, we'll see James and his new trucks. Okay, first off, that's an error because that episode involves Thomas, not James. That's kind of a goof.
What the heck, PBS Kids?
Yeah, no, it's not just PBS Kids. They did this in the UK too. Okay, I'm pretty sure.
I'll say Hit Entertainment, I guess I should say. I'll say, what the heck, Hit Entertainment? Why did you do that?
Yeah. But Hit Entertainment did better than Mattel, though, at least. I mean, they did better merchandise. They have better merchandise than Mattel here, I'll say.
Yeah. And what else can I say?
I just hope Flickalova 2000 and Jake Martin join.
I mean, I hope Flicka joins. I mean, I provide the link, like I said, because like I said, I want to be able to combine Flicka's stream with mine. I mean, hopefully he doesn't do his own stream, because like I said, I'm doing a stream to combine his and mine. But yeah. Yeah, and also doing before Gum? Like oh, sorry, Gum. I was trying to ask you something. Did you know that? Do you have any of the Need for Speed games or no?
No.
Okay. I know you probably don't have them all on GameCube, or you can get them on any platform. It doesn't honestly matter.
I don't have.
Like I said. Oh, okay. Like I said, I've all of them for GameCube, but my Most Wanted won't work in my Wii. But I'll try the others. I'll try Underground 1 and 2 to see if they work.
Yeah.
Because I just ordered a new memory card Gum off of Amazon, the 1024 megabyte one. One that can hold like multiple saves, because I know a lot of people don't have that memory card. And I know it's third party, but it can help me save a lot of my data. But, yeah. And also, do you know something Thomas? You know when...
Thomas PBS? Oh, you're talking to me?
On Thomas PBS, I'm just calling you Thomas for short, even though I'll just call you Thomas and PBS Program Breaker if you don't mind. Well, anyway,
yeah,
did you know that what was I trying to say? And also, like, there's a lot of. May I also ask you this, Thomas and PBS Pro
Yeah.
Maker? There's another Thomas airing I used to watch on PBS Kids, but it froze. It was during the episode. It was from the episode Mighty Mac of season 9 on
And
PBS
what
Kids.
year did you watch it on?
2005 or 2006, or probably it was definitely 2005 because I can tell it was a season 9.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like after this one scene, like when the Mr. Percival says, "Mighty Mac, you are to take some campers to the mountain campground," and but then it freezes, but then a weird screen just came in my way. But then it cuts straight to the scene where the narrator says, "Mighty Mac could see the vacation or the campers or whatever you call it."
I think they're
Mighty
called
Mac-
the campers. I
Mighty
can't
Mac
remember.
could see the-
Wait. I think it was paired with Thomas's milkshake model, right?
Yes, because I don't know why they. Even though yes, how in Thomas's milkshake model, I don't know. I don't actually wouldn't mind it going before Molly special, especially because even though Molly makes a cameo in that one scene, but they don't mention her name and she doesn't speak, even though she didn't appear till Molly special. At least the narrator didn't mention her name and she doesn't talk.
That even goes for Bill, Ben, and Fergus from season 7, where Arthur appears. You know Arthur?
Yes, he for some reason he makes a cameo before his debut with the Spotless Record.
Yeah. The next 5 episodes the couple 5 episodes of season 7 never aired on season 10 airings of PBS. Like, where would you put, which season 7 episode would you put for the season 10 airings? At least.
Really, honestly, don't really know because I think Entertainment didn't have the money to put those. You know how season 10 was too big of a season, so I guess they didn't want to put any more.
Yeah. I feel like they could have put at least season 6 or 7. I feel like they could do more, but if I had to, let me go through the wiki or something.
Yeah,
Because
because
I know All Over the Snow Engine was one of the episodes to not air. That even goes for the grand opening, and yeah.
the grand opening and All Over the Snow Engine for some reason were not aired on PBS Kids airings, but they were just put onto the DVD. Hooray for Tom!
Yeah.
Well,
With the exception
Random-
of Renee's and the Roller Coaster, can I talk to you something about Renee's and the Roller Coaster?
yeah,
Now, we know Renee's and the Roller Coaster never aired on PBS, right?
but I think on UK Nick Jr. airings it might have.
Well, yeah, but yeah, it did. I mean, all the season 7 episodes did air, but here's the thing can I talk about? So, Renee's and the Roller Coaster action that the DVD release, the 2005 DVD of Bumper Party Collection, the UK version, it has the episode of Renee's and the Roller Coaster, but this one actually features Robert Hartshorn's score in the UK narration, which interestingly, it never aired on any of the Nick Jr. airings, but for some reason, Renee's and the Roller Coaster is an exception. I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, but isn't it also funny? Like some people hate Renee's on the Roller Coaster, Thomas, and PBS Program Maker because they don't film it like a roller coaster. They just, like I said, isn't it funny? They just tilt the camera at different angles to pretend it's a roller coaster instead of just putting in like loops because they wanted to make it realistic.
Yeah, honestly, Renee's and the Roller Coaster had problems because it doesn't even look like a roller coaster.
It's like they're just
The
tilting
line was like a roller coaster.
Like I don't think David Mitton and the crew did a clever idea. They could have just put it because I guess they didn't want to put loops because Renee's could have fell off and could have gotten hurt and could have been scrapped. That's why they didn't put loops in that episode. That's why they had to film the camera at a specific angle to think it looks like a roller coaster, but it's really not.
Yeah, and what else? And I also did notice something, by the way.
Yeah,
In Gordon and Spencer, the episode Gordon and Spencer from season 7?
yeah.
Even though James has 3 lines, for some reason, the narrator doesn't even mention him, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, even though I would have liked if they did do it, because like I did it in one of my. I think I did in my streams, like how I think I did in a stream.
Yeah,
before.
let's try that again. Like I'll do the UK version and you can do the Are you good?
Or you could do the US Michael Angelis version still, or just.
Yeah, I'll try maybe US Michael Angelis version, I guess. But I think they're both the same, though. Okay.
Except it's just saying Sir Tom Hanks instead of the Fat Controller.
yeah. Okay, I'll do that. So, you go first, okay?
Okay, should I do Michael Brandon US or Michael
Yeah.
Angelos US?
I think you might be good with Brandon, because I didn't you say you were not really good with Angelus?
I'm kind of good with Angelos US one when I watched the episodes on New Friends for Thomas, so I guess I'll try it.
Yeah, sure, try.
I'll try
And
it.
I'll do the UK version.
Who are you? This is Spencer, said James. He's the fastest engine in the world. Huh, replied Gordon, but secretly he was impressed. I'm the Duke and Duchess's private engine, said Spencer, said the new engine. I take them everywhere. Quite, said Sir Topham Hatt. There'll be a party for the Duke and Duchess at Marin Station. That's far away over Gordon's Hill, replied James. You'll need to take on plenty of water, said Gordon. I have plenty of water, wheezed Spencer, and he puffed away. I was only trying to be useful, grunted Gordon.
Okay, Michael Brandon?
Oh, you want me to do the Brandon one too?
Yeah, I think you should do Brandon.
Okay, and Thomas's Minicore 2001 says, hey, howdy, hey. Hello, Thomas's Minicore 2001. Okay, now I'll do the Brandon. Gordon soon found out. When he arrived at the sheds, the huge engine was humming quietly. Who are you? Said Gordon. This is Spencer, replied James. He's the fastest engine in the world. Huh, replied Gordon. But secretly he was impressed. I'm the Duke and Duchess's private engine, said Spencer. I take them everywhere. Quite, said Sir Tom. There'll be a party for our guests, or there'll be a party for the Duke and Duchess at Marin Station. That's far away over Gordon's Hill, said James. You'll need to take on plenty of water, said Gordon. I have plenty of water, wheezed Spencer, and he puffed away. I was only trying to be useful, grunted Gordon.
All right, here it comes. Gordon soon found out. When he arrived at the station, the huge engine was humming quietly. Who are you? Huffed Gordon. This is Spencer, replied James. He's the fastest engine in the world. Huh, huffed Gordon, but secretly he was impressed. I'm the Duke and Duchess's private engine, said Spencer. I take them everywhere. Then the Fat Controller arrived. Quiet, everyone, he announced. There'll be a party for the Duke and Duchess at Marin Station. That's far away over Gordon's Hill, said James. You'll need to take on plenty of water, muttered Gordon. I have plenty of water, wished Spencer, and he raced away to the big station. I was only trying to be useful, grunted Gordon. Oh, and I did also notice one thing about in season 5, the UK version. I did notice that there were some lines that were like added. There was some narration that was added, like for example, in Thomas and the Rumors with the U in the UK. Apparently, when Percy arrives at the sheds, Gordon in the US version, Gordon says, "You look glowed, little Percy," said Gordon. But in the UK version, he goes like this: "You look glum, little Percy. What's up?" asked Gordon. The Fat Controller said to driver that he's going to use Harold to show a visitor instead of using any of us engines, explained Percy. Despicable, cried Gordon. Disgusting, snorted Henry. Engines are meant to take visitors around the island, not that whirly-bird thing, James exclaimed.
Maybe I could try it with Alec Baldwin's if I don't mind.
Yeah.
You look up, little Percy, said Gordon. What's up? Sir Topham Hatt told Driver that he's using Harold to show a visitor around the island instead of using any of us engines. Despicable, said Gordon. Disgusting, snorted Henry. Engines are meant to take visitors around our island, not that whirlybird thing, James puffed.
Actually, he said James exclaimed.
Oh, I thought it would say James puffed. Well, anyway.
That's
okay.
my one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but it's not from that episode. It's from that clip from By George when going smash the fake car.
Oh, you're going to do the US or the UK?
U.S.
Okay.
Trying to. I may not remember it off the top of my head, but I'll do the best I can.
I mean, I can do it. I'm really good at Gordon season 5 Alec Baldwin produces.
No.
And I'm pretty good with
Thank you,
Angelus's narration.
I'm the greatest. Help me, please. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That
And
is
another
the funniest.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And well, let me think. Another thing I did also notice was that there were times that the narration was added in the UK. Like for example, in Oliver's Find, when Sir Topham Hatt came to see Oliver in the shed because he scolded him for causing confusion. But anyways, it goes like this. Like in the UK version, it goes like this. That night, the Fat Controller came to see Oliver in the shed. While in the US version, it goes like, that night, Sir Topham Hatt arrived. He doesn't even mention, Alec Baldwin doesn't even mention that about what happens next.
There's another one I could try, but if Alec Baldwin did do it. That
Mhm.
night, Topham Hatt came to see Oliver in his shed. Oliver, you have caused confusion. I thought you could control freight cars. You shall work the mail train for the night. Maybe the night air will clear your smoke box.
I can't remember how the UK version goes, but I can remember the one from Something in the Air when Henry teases Thomas or something, or was being rude.
You're late, and that smell is making me ill.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Help it. It's the fish, replied Thomas, and there's danger on the rails. That's why we're late.
Yeah.
Ha! You're the only danger on the rails, Thomas. Now stop wasting time and get your cars hitched to my train.
I found it funny when Henry said, "Pa." Henry gets really annoyed in that episode. Like he was like, "Pa." I can do the UK version. Pa, you're late, and that smell is making me ill. I can't help it. It's the fish, replied Thomas, and there's danger on the rails. That's why we're late. Wait. Oh, you're the only danger on the rails, Thomas, said Henry rudely. Now stop wasting time and get your trucks hitched to my car. To my train.
Yeah. Also, we did the part from A Big Surprise for Percy, right? Thomas and PBS Program Maker, when the truck's all saying Percy, Percy Green and Small. I'll do Alec Baldwin's if you don't mind first, and then you do Angela's.
I'm not good. I guess I can do that.
I'll do Baldwin's. Percy, Percy, green and small. He's no use to us at all. Around the yards he'll huff and blow, but on that hill he's also slow. Be quiet.
Yeah, I remember the UK version. It goes like there's like no singing in that one, you know like no music in that one.
Really?
Yeah, in the UK version it goes like this. Percy, Percy, green and small, he's no use to us at all. Around the hills he'll yop and blow, but on the hills he's so slow. Be quiet, snapped Percy. Well, that's not what he said, okay, but that's just my reimagining.
Yeah.
There were
also,
yeah.
Yeah, and also when we did the part when we were talking about fan made best of Percy lists, is like, why would Percy's driver say to them, "Stop gossiping, you two"? But they're not causing rumors.
What do you mean?
Remember when we talked about the part what you don't understand? Why would Percy's driver say, "Why are they gossiping?" To say, "Stop gossiping, you two"? Instead
Oh
of
yeah, right. Yeah, it didn't look like they're gossiping. Like gossiping means to spread rumors, or it should have been stop getting distracted.
Stop being distracted, you two. Yeah, like I'll say it again, but if he could have just said, "Stop being distracted, you two." Stop being distracted, you two. Cheer up, Percy. You'll know more about freight cars than any other engine. That'll be a cool surprise.
And I feel like Alec Baldwin made James sound like a female in season 5. I don't know.
I don't
Tell
think
that
he
to his voice in Magic Railroad. Where
Yeah.
he is a female.
Yeah. What about the one in James Goes Buzz Buzz, or just Buzz Buzz in the UK when James bustled in?
Like
I
the
can't
part
remember
when James
how-
Russell, like when James Russell, when he says, "What's that duck?" Mind if I do it?
You did it. Are you good with Angelus's?
No, I'm good with Carlin's James Goes Buzz Buzz when he bustles in. "What's that duck? Are you afraid of bees? they're only insects after all, so don't let that BuzzBox Diesel tell you different.
Buzz, 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 said Ed Duck.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny. And the one, I think this scene where James gets stung by a bee used to, I don't know, freak me out a little. But nowadays I'm used to it.
But like I told you before, don't you think this part scared me in James Goes Buzz Buzz, Thompson Peeves Program Breaker, like when the bee starts to swarm back down? When James makes the O-face? That part I had to close my eyes because it scared me. Because of the annoying bee sounds when he comes swarming back down onto James's face.
Yeah. I think this
That
was
part-
the first time James has an O face or something.
Yes, he makes the O-face in this. He also makes it again in Thomas Percy's Slow Coach from season 5. Well, first after he made the surprise face when he cries out, "Oh, help!"
No, he doesn't. That was his original shocked face. But when he does stop at a sighting, he does use his shocked face from that episode. Yeah. Can you show me how his shocked face is like,
I can do the O-face like also like when Thomas whooshes by James and James is like,
Or what about the scene when what about in the episode Thomas and the New Engine when James heard that Neville is friends with the Steamy?
or the Diesels, rather?
Or the Diesels, I mean.
And after the narrator says, James was shocked.
I think he makes that same face in the Green Controller, too.
Yeah, like when James gasped, do you mean I have to be painted yellow and black? Wow. Also, he does in Thomas the Firework Display, Thomas and Peeves Program Breaker, when he explains out why would the signal be red?
Puzzle James. Yeah. And I think he also does that again, but in Dirty Work, not to be confused with the season 2 one.
Yeah. Yeah, and also know, Gum, I've got these movies confirmed for this year, 2023, Gum.
Mm-hmm.
I have Mario movies planned, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 planned, I've got...
Let me memorize the line real quick, okay?
Okay, I'll just talk to Gum about the important these movies I want to see this year. These Disney films, Gum, for the live-action Little Mermaid and Pixar's Elemental, I'll probably have to see them in theaters because I don't have Disney Plus installed on my TV anymore.
The only one out of those I'll see is Elemental.
Pixar's Elemental, but did you know they're finally going back to doing a Pixar sequel finally after 5 years next year, 2024?
Yes, because they said after Toy Story 4 they would just do original films, but 5 years later they're back to a sequel.
Finally, it's like we need another sequel. It's like what is Pixar doing? They're just sitting on the original films ideas train, but now they're going back onto the sequel train now.
The question is for how long?
It's been they've been sitting on that original ideas train for 4 years now.
But yeah, wait, who do you said was it? What was the name of the person who said they wanted to show their Clifford DVDs?
A Flicka.
Well, I've had mine here for a while waiting for him.
I know. Wait, I know. I want to. Hopefully, he didn't start doing his own. I want to do mine. Combine his on.
Yeah, well, I guess I could show mine since I only have 6 or so.
I wish the Shout Factory could release a complete series. I don't have to get those in. But I think the individual will do for now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready. All right, let me do it. So, where is it? Here it is. What's that, Doc? Are you afraid of bees? He snorted. They're only insects after all, so don't let that BuzzBox Diesel tell you different. His name is Boko, retorted Doc. And he didn't. I wouldn't care, interrupted James. If hundreds were swarming around, I'd just blow smoke and make them buzz off. Buzz, 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 retorted Doc.
Wait a minute. I think maybe I could try and do that again with Carlin, but he could add retorted James. Or no, I think he says interrupted.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll try it again. Wait, when you said what's that, Duck? What did the narrator say? Something, James?
He said he snorted.
What's that, Duck? Snorted James. Are you afraid of bees? They're only insects after all, so don't let that Buzzbox Diesel tell you different. And what does the narrator say something duck when he says his name is Boko?
Well, he doesn't say that in UK version. Just thinking of what he would say.
Okay, his name is Boko, and he didn't. I wouldn't care, interrupted James, if hundreds were swarming around. I'd just blow smoke and make them buzz off. Buzz, 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 retorted Duck. But yeah. Also, yeah. Oh, yeah, Gum's showing his things. Well, anyway.
What's that, Duck? Are you afraid of bees? He snorted. They're only insects after all, so don't let that Buzzbox Diesel tell you different. His name is Boko. Go, gasped Duck. And we didn't. I wouldn't care, interrupted James. If hundreds were swarming around, I'd just blow smoke at them and buzz off. Buzz, 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 retorted Duck.
Wait, was that the
Michelangelo version? Yeah.
Okay, I thought well, he's never revived it. It's always been the same one as all versions in the UK.
Yeah, and also what's another thing is that in season 3, I think he makes some really good screaming voices. Like for example, in the episode Henry's Forest, when he says, "The engines were rusting in the shed." "Listen," said Thomas. "Can you hear a strange sound?" "It's the wind blowing inside the shed," replied Toby. "But I don't think it's ever happened before." "Do you know," added James, "if Gordon wasn't there, I'd say he's outside thundering by with the express." All the engines laughed, except Henry. Yeah, I feel like he makes a lot of screaming sounds, but then in season 4 he sounds like a peaceful narrator here.
Yeah, maybe I could try to do the lines from Bad Day for Sir Handel with Angelus in there. Remember I told you Bad Day for Sir Handel I used to hate as a kid, but now I do like it for some reason. I can do Angelus's take on it. "What a small shed," wanted Sir Handel. This part is no... Wait, I don't know. Wait, I'm going to try again.
You should probably look up the transcript.
Actually, I'll try again.
Okay.
"What a small shed," grunted Sir Handel. "This won't do at all. We're much too good for this old shack." "I think it's nice," said Peter Sam. "I'm sorry, Skarloey. Sir Handel's upset now, but he's quite nice, really." Skarloey felt sorry for Peter Sam. And also, like when the Fat Controller comes up and by the time Workman came to rescue him, Sir Handel felt rather silly. To make matters worse, there stood the Fat Controller. His message to Sir Handel was brief and blunt. But in Carlin, he says, to make matters worse, there stood Sir Topham Hatt. His message to Sir Handel was brief and blunt. And you know how like this one scene where he scolds Sir Handel saying, "You are a very naughty engine"? You know how they made a famous one saying, "I'm banishing you to the Shadow Realm"? No!
Yeah, I found it funny. It was like
Yeah.
"I'm banishing you to the Shadow Realm." No! I wonder what happened if they reacted to some kind of episode. And also, I'm pretty sure they break the fourth wall at the end of the episode. Like, for example, "And after that, I'm sure he will. Won't you?" Like at the end of A Bad Day for Sir Handel.
Yeah, I think like both Carlin and Angelus, they go the same way as when he plays the silly kind of cue music. Well, it's not a really silly cue music, but it's just kind of silly music or just a kind of weird cue music. And
Yeah.
when they say, "After hearing that, I'm sure Sir Handel will, don't you?"
Aren't you?
Yeah, they even break the fourth wall at the end of Wrong Road.
And also, Gum, I was also going to tell you this. I heard there's going to be 2 Mission Impossible films, but the 7th one's going to be broken up into 2 parts, just like the Harry Potter ones.
So, you mean
You know,
into Deathly
I
Hallows?
think that Angelus's narration revised version sometimes isn't any better because don't get me wrong, I think he's pretty good in the revised version. The only problem is that his narration was way more slow paced than the early one, and some of the lines were taken out. Like for example, let me think. For example, in the episode Gordon and the Famous Visitor, Gordon is like, Edward and Duck have a talk in the episode, and they were like, "Take no notice of him, Sue Edward. He's just jealous." And he doesn't even, and Edward just doesn't say anything else until he says, "Look, he's coming now." Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that they took out that line.
Yeah, but luckily in George Carlin's narration, it's still there. But yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Jessica, I'll also tell you this. Do you have all Harry Potter films on DVD or Blu-ray, or you just have them individually?
I don't have any of them.
Okay, but did you know that they're going to do the same thing? There's one Mission Impossible film that's a 7th movie, but it's going to be the first part is this year, and second part comes next year.
Hey, no, it did
But
not.
Deathly
not
Hallows.
Mission Impossible.
I mean, have you seen almost all the Mission Impossible films? Because I haven't seen Fallout yet.
I said I'm not. I just said I'm not into them.
Okay. Not a big fan of them, but I know you'll probably not see the Mission Impossible 7 one this year.
No, and I didn't even see Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows when those parts came out.
Oh, right. But yeah, and also another one. I'm gonna see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 this May, and the Mario movie. Yes.
Yeah. And you know about Thomas's sad face that was used in Thomas Meets the Queen?
Yeah, that one. Also, one that was used in season 8. I was like, where on earth did that's why before I watched. I actually did watch Thomas Meets the Queen before I watched Thomas to the Rescue.
I do like that sad. I don't know what kind of face he makes. I think it's his nervous or sad face. But I kind of like that face way better than his other one, to be honest.
Oh, I know that's because you know how in Thomas Saves the Day not to be confused with the season 1 one, but the season 8 version. Like when Thomas says difficult bend, he puffed nervously. That's why the narrator says he puffed nervously. That's why it's his nervous face.
Yeah. And I think his nervous face gets used again in some season 9 episodes. Well, yeah.
But I think leading up to season 11, that's when they stopped using his nerve. After season 11, they stopped using that nervous face.
Yeah, I really like that nervous face. To be honest, I wish season 12 was a full model season instead of a CGI hybrid season. Because the faces, combining CGI animation with the faces just doesn't work. With the models just doesn't work.
What does it to me is the lip syncing.
No, I mean just the... Yeah, but combining CGI faces with the models just doesn't work. Like, you either go full CGI or full model. But, I feel like one way season 12 could have worked better is if it had 26 episodes, but maybe make some episodes that are at least decent and not have any of the engines act out of character at least.
Yeah, and Brandon Movie Channel says hi. Hi, Brandon Movie Channel.
Yeah. Oh, and what about in Thomas to the Rescue when Diesel sniffed loudly? "What's that horrible smell?" he oiled. "Oh, it's just a stinky old steamy."
"How rude!" exclaimed Thomas.
"No wonder Sir Topham Hatt is thinking of scrapping steamies."
"I don't believe you," huffed Thomas. He was upset. Yeah, Mike Brandon was so smooth in that version of Thomas to the Rescue.
Or season 8. I think in general, season 8.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, season 8 is probably the best of the hit season because of, they try to be original at least. Like, at least they don't reuse the lines all the time. Like, for example, one of them is, let me think one.
Okay. I know you're trying to find one, yeah.
I think one of them is the narrator saying Thomas felt terrible. They don't say that, at least. They say that a lot more in the CGI seasons, but in this season they don't, so yeah. But the one thing, yeah.
And also, did you know that I'm trying to remember this episode, yeah. Did you know that I think that in the episode...
Which episode from season 8?
Season 8. You want me to do season 8 episodes? Sure. Did you know that in the widescreen version of the episode Halloween from season 8, when the YouTuber DCulminH did a remake of Halloween from season 8? He makes the
Yeah.
version that goes out of sync because Thomas is. It goes out of sync, and Thomas says his dialogue way too late when he explains out the ghost is after me.
Uh-huh.
And you know how towards the very end they re-edit the scenes at the very end when the narrator says, whenever Thomas and Emily go back to the smelter's yard, they knew there was nothing scary. They used that one delete scene like during the instrumental part of the song Day and Night in the season 9 song Day and Night, but it's just re-edited on the widescreen version. And like when after the narrator says they knew there, and they say, after all, there is no such thing as ghosts.
Yeah, I noticed that at the end they
It's
show
all
the ghost.
silly make-believe. And then a random ghost just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, it happens in the UK version. And I heard that it happens on one of the hit favorite releases.
Wait, it happens on the hit favorites release with the episode Halloween?
Where the UK version is plastered in, where Michael Brandon's narration is plastered in the UK version of Halloween. I think I can understand why they got rid of that version in the US, and I think it's mainly because of the fact that kids in the US would be scared of a ghost. I think that maybe that's what this is about.
Yeah,
I mean,
and also
I like that scene, but
and you know how in the re-edited version, but for some reason they plastered the UK version of the Halloween episode, but they just used Michael Brandon's narration. Did you know that they also, like, when Ari and Bear are still bumping the flatbed's buffers, is that they, like, when it cuts to the scene of Thomas and Emily pulling up to the smelter shed, I don't think you can still hear the biffing sound still occurring when it cuts to the next scene. I'll have to look through it again because, like, I'm pretty sure on Tonsosaurus Celebration it does that. You can still hear the biffing sound, but then it cuts to them coming up to the smelter shed.
Oh yeah. And
I don't have Hit Favorites DVD Halloween Spectacular, so I'll have to see if I'm correct to see if it'll use the UK version, but have Michael Brandon.
It does actually. I checked.
Okay.
But
I don't have the Halloween Spectacular.
I
don't have the Halloween Spectacular Hit Favorites DVD yet.
Yeah. And you know when I was talking about Scratch earlier in the stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Scratch is a he after all, but the only thing is that I feel like Scratch... Didn't you say Scratch was an interesting character, or were you asking me what's my opinion?
Well, I was wondering what's your opinion on Scratch from Bob the Builder?
Yeah, what would you say about Scratch?
I think he's an interesting character. I just never watched... I haven't seen his episodes in a long time because I haven't watched any Bob the Builder Ready Steady Build because I don't think it's as good in my opinion.
But yeah, at least on the positive side...
Yeah.
On the positive side, at least it's better than the reboot. I mean, they do go back to Bobville. You know the town Bobville?
Yeah. I didn't know that it was called Bobville, but yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that's what
also,
the
I was going to ask you this, Gum. Do you have any Bob the Builder DVDs or no?
Oh,
No.
you know what? I think one time when I was little, I actually used to have a Bob the Builder game. I used to have it one time, but I think I lost it. Where you have to like spell the letters correctly or something.
It's a Bob the Builder game.
Yeah, but it's like non-electronic. It's like a pad or something. I can't remember, but I know I used to have that game.
I'll have to look it up later to see what it's called. But I know it's not a computer game, correct?
Yeah, it's not a computer game, but yeah. At least Bob the Builder, Ready Steady Build, Bob, Wendy, and all the other characters retain their original designs like they did in the original series and the Project Build It one. What's your opinion on Project Build It?
As continuation as good as the original Bob the Builder. You know how some of the team machines have their same voices, but I think only the main characters, Lofty and Bob, switched their voices.
Yeah. And they did also introduce a new character, by the way. And I think it was Benny who appeared in the season finale. You know, Benny does look similar to... He, to me, looks similar to Scratch or something.
Yeah. And William Waldrop says, hey, guys, hey, William Waldrop.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I thought Ready Steady Build was okay. I mean, it was kind of like the way Thomas and Friends did, but you know, like Thomas and Friends, Entertainment does have a reason to have Bob the Builder go in full CGI. budgets and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, may I ask you this, Thompson PBS Program Breaker? Are you excited
Yeah.
to probably see these movies this year if you have time? Because, like I said, I was telling Gunn about them. Are you going to probably see one of these ones that I told you? These are the 6 I'm going to probably see this year.
Which one? Like
The Mario movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, or Mission Impossible 7 Part 1.
I'll
or
try. Depends if I don't have anything going on, but I'll try though. I'll try.
Yeah, because like I have tons of movies on Blu-ray, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I could get Blu-ray, but I don't have a Blu-ray player, unfortunately.
I think the Xbox One can play Blu-rays.
It can.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. I don't have any Blu-ray DVDs nor Blu-ray player.
Oh, okay. You just can get an ordinary DVD if you like. I mean, once you eventually get some,
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you get your thing situated, yeah, your own stuff situated, yeah, your own, you know what, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I
what's
tried
going-
a
Movie.
DVD in my brother's PS3 before when he had a PS3. It
Your
worked.
older brother?
Yes, one of my older brothers.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so what's one thing? So, I do really want to get some. I did remember watching Bob the Builder, the original series. I think I used to watch it like on Hit Favorites releases along with Thomas and Friends. Like, I'm pretty sure the original series was kind of slightly combined with the Thomas and Friends season 8, kind of. Well, it was mostly combined with the classic seasons, but it was slightly combined with the season 8 episodes. But Project Billy,
I have the hit favorite Springtime Fun, which has the episode Bob's Big Surprise recycled from the Celebrate with Bob DVD, but the Thomas Percy the Magic Carpet episode on that release.
wait, Percy the Magic Carpet is on that release?
Yeah, Springtime Fun, it's Percy the Magic Carpet.
But does it have the shorter version of the end credits, like the very shorter version?
I don't think it does. I think it plays the longer version where you know how it goes, the longer. I'll just say I think it has the longer version, yes.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch the Percy the Magic Carpet episode again.
All right.
the-
Well, maybe look it up. So it's called Hit Favorites what?
Springtime Fun, where it has Bob's Big Surprise from Bob
Okay,
the
because
Builder.
Frosty Friends has has Percy's New Whistle, it does play the extended version of the end credits. It's
And
called
I know it has the
Hit
version
Favorite.
where Birdie does not shift his eyes to the left, but in the version on Frosty Friends, he just leaves it in the neutral position when he says Percy, he cried crossly.
Yeah.
But I said if I get the hit favorites with season 11 episodes, I'll have to see if those play the correct season 11 intro because I'm pretty sure. Because I know Jake Barton has the Being a Friend hit favorites DVD. I don't know if that one plays the
Jeremy
The
Barton, you said?
Jake
Okay.
Barton. Yes, Jake
okay.
Barton. He has the Being a Friend hit favorites 2010 DVD. I don't know if it plays the season 8 version of Engine Roll Call despite it's a season 11 episode.
Yeah. But I do have Holiday Express, believe it or not, and when it plays Henry's Lucky Day, it uses the season 8 to 10 intro, season 8 Island of Sodor intro, and the season 8 credits.
Yeah, 8 through 10 credits for some reason. Even though I guess the reason why is because they had to put like the engine roll call the same way as like. Even though after Thomas's Frosty Friend it has the way you can tell it's the season 8 engine roll call or the seasons 9 and 10 one. The reason why I say season 8 is because the reasons why it's the 6 births in the 8 version, but in 9 and 10 it has 7 births.
And another way you can tell is that the lining is used. Like the lining that's used when it mentions the Steam team.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, the lining is not used in season 8, with the exception of Steamies versus Diesels.
I mean,
And
you're really
Rocky's in the season 11 roll call as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, how season 11 and 12 engine roll call is almost the same, except they just replace some of the scenes when they sing the lyrics about the Steam team. Did you know how just like I told you, yes, in the full CGI one, they changed it from only season 13 they use these scenes, and 14 through 18 they switch it.
Yeah.
You know how in season 12. Also, when they sing the lyrics, James, he's fame, but lots of fun. In the season 11 one, they do a different version of James still getting repainted, just like in James Gets a New Coat. In the 8 through 10 one, it's
Yeah. And what about the scene when they say down the hills and round the bends? Like the first time. Like in the season 11 to 12 version, it sounds like it's like a remade version of Percy's Big Mistake. I mean, I wonder if that scene maybe could be used for if I had to imagine which season 11 episode would have it, I don't know which one.
Yeah, but also like when they sing the lyrics for James, he's fame, but lots of fun. In the season 11 one, they think it's a remade version of the scene of James Gets a New Coat, but in season 12 they replaced it.
Yeah. I feel like you know what? You know the scene where James gets a new coat in season 11, the season 11 version of the Engine Roll Call?
Yeah?
I feel like that's from Dirty Work because James is trying to stay clean.
Yeah, and Blue Hedgehog Man 17 says, "Hey man, hey Blue Hedgehog Man 17." And also another example in the chorus of the Steam Team in season 11's. Actually, for Gord's they changed a bit. Like in this third picture, when they sing Gordon Thunders Down the Line, the third picture is him from Gordon and the Mechanic, aka Gordon and the Engineer from season 11.
Yeah.
But season 12 they replaced it with him puffing through the countryside with his CGI mask.
Yeah. God, it would have been better if season 12 was a full model season, except they get rid of the yellow tint.
What does it come like in the season 12 version of Engine Roll Call? It might be an edited one from Gordon Takes a Shortcut.
Yeah, I think that's what I remember.
But yeah, but I also know for Henry's when I don't know why they could have just kept singing the lyrics Henry Toots and Edward Puffs, because you know how in the Great Discovery they merged Henry and Edward because they put cool lyrics for Stanley in the Great Discovery Engine Roll Call.
Yeah, and I don't know why the Engine Roll Call for the season 11 on the Great Discovery was cut short. I kind of wish it was extended.
Yeah, I could have done that. And Blue Hedgehog Man 17 says, "Nice Luigi cap." Thanks, Blue Hedgehog Man 17. Yeah.
And what about in the All Engine? And as much as I hate All Engines Go, like I despise it big time. With the intro is just terrible, honestly. Because, like, for example, in one scene they say Thomas is the number one engine. All engines go, and they even mention one thing as well, which is Diesel is Thomas's best friend.
Yeah, but do you know there's one kind of lyrics they stole? They put in the All Engines Go theme song, but from the Engine Roll Call era, from the hit era of Thomas, they almost sing "Down the Hills and Round the," and Thomas says "Whoa," and then All Engines Go. They stole the lyrics "Down the Hills" and I almost saying "Round the Bends."
They almost said "Round the Bends." Honestly, I don't know.
But they almost, and then Thomas just says "Whoa," and then they sing "All Engines Go."
Yeah, and then they just go, and then they mention all the characters. They go like Percy, go, Nia, go, Diesel, go, Kana, go, Sandy, go, Carly, go.
I don't think those two
God,
are
the theme song's
intro.
awful. More like Percy, no, Nia, no, Diesel, no, Kana, no, Carly, no.
And also Gum, like when I was telling Thomas and PBS Program Maker about the season 12 and 11 Engine Roll Call, there's also like one where they place that it's still keep some of the scenes the same way as season 11, but they just replace one of the pictures. Also, when they sing Henry Toots and Huffs and Puffs, the season 11 one has Henry at Knapford Station. I think that's from Smoke and Mirrors, isn't it, Thomas and PBS Program Breaker?
I think it. Yeah, I think it is.
But the season 12 one, they leave that one. But you know how they do a remade one from Henry pulling out of the thing, but in the Engine Roll Call 8 through 10 version, they make him struggle. It's a season 7 one from What's the Matter with Henry?
Yeah, Henry is just cheerfully puffing through.
But this one, he
I
struggled.
feel like that episode is from maybe. I feel like it could be from Thomas in Trouble or something because, Henry is on his way to collect Thomas after all, right?
Yeah, that's also in season 12. But I think in the other one, season 12, they replaced the other Henry picture with something else. But also, like when the Toby one, they replace him with pulling him. What's the load that Toby pulls in Thomas in the lighthouse in the little box car?
I think it was just box cars. That's it.
Yeah, he was pulling like a boxcar or something in Thomas in the Lighthouse, but then they replaced it in the season 12 one.
Yeah, and did you know that there were some different camera angle scenes in season 11 episodes? Like for example, Thomas and no, not Thomas and the Lighthouse, but Dirty Work from season 11.
I didn't know. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you should probably watch Thomas Roll Along's channel, and you'll see the differences. But yeah, I do admire. But yeah, once again, I love how seasons 8 through 11 have the best camera quality. 6, 5, or I don't know which season, but like seasons 5 or 6 was when they started using the 720p 50 FPS. But season 8 through 12, they go fully. There were times that this 50 FPS was used, like for example, Jack jumps in where Alfie just spins around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, remember you did the Alec Baldwin impression of Alfie where he goes, "I'm Alfie,"
I'm Alfie.
but then when it turns out, Max.
Yeah.
So that's Max. Said Thomas was
Mind
right.
my paintwork, Max snapped the truck.
Careful, Bumblebucket.
Yeah.
Just careful, Bumblebucket. Sorry.
Yeah. Mind my paint, snapped the truck.
Isabella, snorted Kelly.
Scolded Kelly.
Scolded Kelly.
Sorry, said Isabella. Welcome to the pack. And if you want to work,
See the foreman, said Isabella cheekily. The foreman introduced Jack to his oiler. I'm here.
no! Isabella cried.
I think it's no shout at Isabella.
I found it funny when Alec Baldwin made Isabella shout like this. No! Shouted Isabella.
But it was too late. Oh no! He cried. Oops!
Yeah.
And also
what
when
about
Miss
the
Jenny
scene where
How about the Michelangelo's impression? No! shouted Isabella. But it
Well,
was
it didn't
too
sound
late.
as good as Alec Baldwin's, though.
I mean, I'm good at the Angelus UK and US one. It's still the same, but they just mentioned for Fat Controller in UK and Sir Tom in the US. So everything else is exactly the same. So I'll just do it both Angelus, US, and UK. So it's just, oh no!
Oh, no.
Oops.
Yeah.
And then when Miss Jenny realizes, comes to see what happens, and she's glad Jack's not hurt, but she's still disappointed in him. Where it says, safety first means you don't jump in where you don't belong. I'm sorry, Miss Jenny, Jack said sadly. Maybe you're not ready for the pack, sighed Miss Jenny. We'll see how well you do tomorrow. But yeah, also like when we did, remember we forgot to do this Thompson PS Program Maker from the World's Strongest Engine. If Alec Baldwin did do this one instead of saying pulled.
Yeah, I remember that. Let's do the beginning first. So,
Like first when he
like
tries to
where Diesel tries to push the trucks.
Push,
Alright, so it
push,
goes like this.
push.
I'll do the Michelangelo's version. So yeah. Push, said the trucks. Diesel pushed as hard as he could, but the trucks didn't move. So after so many attempts of pushing the trucks, Diesel decided to pull. Diesel kept pulling as hard as he could, but the trucks continued teasing him. Heave ho, you can sing it, but we will go, sang the trucks. This made Diesel very cross. He was so cross that he didn't realize that he was pulling so hard that the coupling was about to snap. At last, with his final heave, he broke the coupling. Diesel veered out of control. Help! He yelled.
I guess I could try, but encourage Diesel to push anyway. Push! Diesel pushed as hard as he could. But the trucks didn't move. So after many attempts, what did you say when you did the Michelangelo?
Many attempts?
After many failed attempts, Diesel decided to pull trucks instead. He kept pulling with all his pump. The trucks kept teasing him. Heave ho, you can pull, but we won't go, sang. This made Diesel very cross. He was so cross, he was pulled as hard as he could. At last, with one final jump,
Eve.
with one final heave, he pulled as hard as, and at last, the coupling snapped. Help! And then the
Yeah. And what about we
Recent
add more narration to it? Like, for example, poor Diesel landed straight in a cart. Poor
Poor-
Diesel landed straight in a bowl filled with flour. Grease and oils, he spluttered. He felt very foolish indeed, as all the trucks laughed and laughed. Soon-
grease and oil.
Huh?
Grease and oil, Diesel said as he landed on a boat full of flour. As the trucks laughed and laughed.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Let me try that again. Grease and oil, said Diesel as he landed in a bowl filled with flour. Diesel felt very foolish, as all the trucks laughed and laughed.
Diesel.
Soon, Henry was repaired, and he brought the fat controller, who looked down crossly at Diesel. I thought it would be a proper dockside, Diesel, but I was wrong, he said. Diesel stayed silent. Then the fat controller turned to Henry. Can you make up for lost time, Henry? He asked. Oh, yes, sir, replied Henry happily. Okay, your turn.
Like, first off, when after the narrator says Henry brought Sir Topham, after Henry was fully repaired, he brought Sir Topham Hatt, who looked down crossly at Diesel. I thought you would be a proper dockyard Diesel, he said. But I was wrong, he said. Diesel sat in silence. Can you make up for lost time, Henry? Oh, yes, sir, Henry replied happily.
Yeah. And what's another thing? What about the scene? How about the beginning of the world's strongest engine? Like, for example, it goes like this. All the engines on the island of Sodor love doing their work. And I can't remember how it goes. Let me see. Like, I'll just use the transcript instead, because if I do video, it'll probably be copyrighted. So I'll just read the transcript.
Yeah. Where's
I wish in that version they mentioned the coupling.
Is that all you can pull, Henry? Loads are stronger.
Isn't oh I can't remember. I can't remember how
Is
it
that
goes.
all you can haul? Henry's loads are longer. Is that all you can haul? Henry must be stronger.
Is that all you can haul, Henry? Is that all you can haul, Henry? Is that all you can haul? Henry must be stronger. Sang the trucks. I found it pretty funny when they sang that. Let me find it. So, season 6 transcripts.
While you're looking, hold on, I'll be right back, guys. I'll just turn my camera off.
And now it's just us two.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that he was wearing a Luigi hat because I'm currently doing a Let's Play of
Okay.
Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah. Mind my paintwork, snapped the truck. Isabella, Kelly scolded. I think Kelly is a girl's name, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's how it was in some of those early Barbie movies, which were, I think, was it the Nutcracker one, the Swan Lake, and there was one more that came out between those two. I don't remember the name, though.
Which ones?
They were like from, I think, the early 2000s.
Let me find the episode. Okay, so the world's strongest engine I'm trying to find.
All right. Yeah, I heard you guys were talking while I turned my camera off. I was trying to text someone important.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
That's about Luigi's Mansion 3, Gum. I'm pretty sure this is all the Luigi's Mansion games we got so far. Well, a couple of them, yeah.
Hmm.
Because I know you don't have the original Luigi's Mansion on GameCube yet. It's getting
I
hard to
do.
find. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I you have to see if that one will work.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah, I know it sucks. I know you haven't taken your Wii to get fixed. I'll have to do mine.
However, I do have the 3DS remake of it here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that one because it's like I have Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D because I can't find the original anywhere. Yeah, Pokemon. I should probably replace Pokemon Moon with Sun because I like Sun over Moon stuff.
Hmm.
Star Rush. I don't have that. The only Mario Party I have is 3DS Island Tour.
Hmm.
Yeah, Mario Party the Top 100 I've never played either.
But I do have more 3DS games, but yeah, they're just all in this. Have my case here for where I store my 3DS.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more I'm trying to get like these more 3DS games or just DS games in general, just to like have like in the sockets, but I can just replace them. I can have one game in the 3DS as well. And I guess I could go grab it really quick if you guys don't mind.
Go right ahead.
All right, here it is. It's got a little emblem there because it can hold a ton of DS and 3DS games. Plus, I can have one in the 3DS. It might be hard to show with two hands if I can try my hardest to do. Yeah, it's the one game in my 2DS is in there right now is Mario Kart DS because like I said, I like to play that Mario Kart a lot on the. That's my favorite Mario Kart, just handheld only game in general.
Yeah, I played that one a lot, and that's what I used to store my DS and 3DS games.
Here's my copy of Mario Kart DS if you're curious. Both our casings for the games looks a bit different because mine has the Wi-Fi logo on next to the E for Everyone rating.
Well,
I can also show you that I do have stuff on. Well, I have all the stuff on Mario Kart DS. I'm just I turn the volume off so I don't want to get copyrighted. Probably have to charge so battery running low. And Mox says, "Why do I hate Bully for you from Dragon Tales? Cassie not acting like a big, acting stern to Spike and saying I've had enough."
Ironically, I went to have
I'll do my
today
narration.
and found that our amazing pet
Engines on
Steve
the island of
I didn't
Sodor
pick it
like
up
feeling
because-
responsible, reliable,
yeah.
and really useful.
didn't-
They work hard to complete their jobs on time. They don't like confusion and delay.
Okay, I know
One
what you're doing.
day, and I think they should have added a scene where Henry was puffing down Gordon's hill when all of a sudden the truck started to act really so troublesome. Henry came off the rails. Poor Henry was derailed. Sorry, I have to go now. See ya.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Here, I was just turning the camera off, but I know SC or Thomas and PBS, aka Thomas and PBS Program Breaker left.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Seamink says, "What's my least favorite show?" I don't really have a least favorite show. I mean, even don't really like to watch adult shows that much because think about it. I like every time later seasons, but they just get more and more bad. Just like to take for example, yes, I just hate how the more and more bad the SpongeBob episodes get in later seasons.
Well, I mean, I found a couple interesting ones that I quite enjoyed. Like there was a season 11 episode that's just called "My Leg."
What season is My Leg from?
Season 11.
Oh my god! See, even like after season 10, they just get more and more terrible.
But that one's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, and let me ask. Yeah, yes. Like I said, I still hate the Bully for You episode from Dragon Tales. Well, yeah, Mox, I hate Dragon Tales Bully for You because of Cassie not acting like a stern girl, saying I've had enough. I would rather stick with Shineham Station Bully for Mr. Conductor, which I don't think any of you two have watched that episode yet, Gum or Thomas LP Fan 123.
No.
Okay, well, you can just look it up, Gum. Just look up Shineham Station Bully for Mr. Conductor. That's how I watched the episode. Just simply look it up and you'll see it. But yeah, like I said, I'm coming up with a project to play all Shineham Station episodes, but avoid the jukebox puppet band scenes or the music videos where they go into the different places of the station to do different music videos. I'm trying to do a cool archive project for that where I can just include all those episodes but skip all those ones. Kind of like how this one guy, he made a full video of calling all engines but omitted the learning segments.
Really? How short it was the special without them?
I think less than 50 minutes. I mean, I'll probably have to say like there. And Jack C. Mink says, what's my favorite episode from Thomas and Friends? I'll say these from all fully model seasons of Thomas. Starting from season 1 to a season 11 because season 12 is a hybrid. So I'll just do the ones from season 11. Well, up to season 11, Jack C. Mints. From season 1, it's a tie between tenors and turntables. In my list, it's tenors and turntables and Down the Mine, a tie. For season 2, it's Thomas Comes to Breakfast. Season 3, Trust Thomas. Season 4, for the narrow gauge ones, it's Rusty the Rescue. Standard gauge season 4, it's Thomas the Special Letter. Season 5, Make Someone Happy. Season 6, Thomas the Jet Engine. I think season 7, it's Gordon and Spencer. Season 8, it's Thomas to the Rescue. Season 9, Respect for Gordon. Season 10, Thomas the Birthday Mail. And finally, season 11, it's Thomas Sets Sail. A lot of people say the Flying Kipper's their all-time favorite season 1 episode because of the best music and how it starts out nighttime at the beginning of the episode, but then towards the end it starts to become day again.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack says, okay, and Jay says, see you later. Okay, Jack, see ya. Here you go. Let me show you my case again, Gum. I got somewhat good 3DS game selections. I would like to get the good selections, like I said, I already have Mario Kart 7, so I know, even though there would not be a possibility for us to play online, even though I could provide you my 3DS friend code and Switch friend code, and
well, my connection's not that great because I'm trying to get a guy who fix it, but he's so unreliable.
Oh, see, I know that sucks because I know with DS games way harder because DS, they don't even do support online play anymore. DS games, they took it away. Even though I know this, even though I do like to have the Wii U version of, I'm glad I have the Wii U version of Smash 4 Gum. It's the reason why I rarely play the 3DS version is like I could just use 8-player GameCube controllers. Because there's an adapter that came with Smash Bros. For Wii U back in the day. And
yeah, I've heard about that, but I never got it.
Okay, I know you don't have the adapter just yet, because I know... So I think like there's a couple Smash Bros. Games you're missing, or you have almost all of them, just not the...
The only ones I don't have are the N64 one and Wii U.
Okay. Well, Wii U version is very easy to find. Like I said, you can just get it alone and eventually get that adapter so you can use the GameCube controllers. Because like I said, I have a spare adapter for GameCube controllers if you rather have mine, and I can just keep.
Yeah, but I don't think I have any interest in buying it.
Because I know. Well, you can play with other controllers if you rather use something else than the GameCube controller. You can use there's many other ways to play Smash Bros. For Wii U, just like Smash Bros. Brawl. You can use the Wii Remote alone or with the Wii Remote with the nunchuck, or you can use one of your Wii U Pro controllers.
Well, it's not the controller part. It's just that I don't think I need it.
Okay. But the cool thing is if you had both versions of Smash Bros. 4, you can use the 3DS as a controller. If you had both versions of Smash 4, you can connect your 3DS to the Wii U and use the 3DS as a controller.
That one I did not know of.
Yeah, I knew about it. I tried it on my friend's Wii U. It's really easy. And Blue Hedgehog Man 17 says, had a generic unbranded third-party game controller adapter. Eventually I gave it away and bought both official OEM Nintendo ones. Okay, good thing you did, Blue Hedgehog Man. Even though some brands will work, because I have 2 wired GameCube controllers, because I don't like those wireless controllers because they tend to glitch on me, and I don't like that, which really bothers me, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I know the feelings where like you have to sometimes the thing on the bottom, the numbers, and you have to adjust it the right way.
Yeah, that's not the only problem. It's like the receiver likes to just blink on me, and it just never works right. It won't like stay flashing green, but it just likes to glitch out, and like the controller power's on fine, but it's just the receiver won't stop glitching off on me. Whereas these 2 third-party ones I have, they don't have any problems. But yeah, I know for yeah. Well, yeah. And I also do have a decent amount of Switch games as well, Gum Robber. I also got Mario. I do have Mario Party Superstars. Yes. What else do I have? I do have some Zelda games like Hyrule Warriors and Breath of the Wild, and of course, I can't forget Smash Bros. Ultimate. I can't believe there's now a third Nickelodeon kart racers.
And yeah, they haven't made another Mario Kart in between any of those, just DLC for it.
Just for that booster course pass, which I do have. What else do I have? I have the Mario and Sonic and Paper Mario. And like I said, the only reason I get 3D All-Stars is just to, even though I can play most of these games already, Super Mario 64 and Sunshine, and I already have Galaxy for the Wii alone. Barn says
it's just nice to have a backup.
Well, true, yes, because I know I don't think your Sunshine GameCube disc will work either, so you have the 3D All-Stars. Good thing you have the 3D All-Stars.
Yeah, it doesn't work anymore.
Does your Galaxy 1 disc alone work?
That one I'm going to have to test out at some point.
Okay, well, I know you'll just test it with the microphone off and don't get copyright, yeah. And Jake Martin says I have to join join a chat stream some other time because I'm about to watch 2 TVs. Well, okay, Jake Barn. If you want to watch them, that's fine. Cause I know you want to watch them. I'm always gonna watch those 2 Thomas DVDs. The one that I just left off on part 3 on my Thomas Media Collection stream from a few days ago. I think so, yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, from a few days ago. Yes, because I did earlier this week. The one I just left off on part 3 of my Thomas.
Tales in the Veils.
Yep, and like the one that some people say the picture quality looked terrible, but I found it kind of okay.
Yeah, same here. I remember finding it on Walmart a few years back.
Yeah, the Thomas and Friends Quarry Adventures on Sodord release. I cannot find that sampler release. I think the only way to get it was with that exclusive that one particular take along set was the Rusty, the Boulder take along set. I think so, because I know the only way to get one of those 2 sampler VHS tapes was through a specific Wooden Railway set exclusively at Toys R Us. But yeah, I know you're a 2DS XL or you have any 3DS. Mine's the new 2DS XL, turquoise and black.
Yeah, mine is the new 3DS XL.
Okay, it's the simple black one.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, but I really want to be able to capture 3DS and DS games on a television, but it's really hard to find those capture cards. Even though there is a way I can hold my 3DS with 2 hands because I still like this new tripod. I can just capture it, record it. I can just.
Oh, my way's just kind of simple. Well, just get to like a shelfie or something and just do this.
Oh, yeah, then I have to tilt it on the side and I can't even see the game at all.
Yeah, but normally my camera would switch to automatically be sideways, but I can't in this.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get some cool Wii U games, even though some of them are exclusive. Even though it's kind of funny, it would be funny if I did get the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, no, the original Mario Kart 8 Wii U, and what else? And
I have
Captain
that.
Yeah, I know. Like, I would never ever, even though I want to have the collection bigger, the only version of Mario Kart 8 I would play is the one on Switch called Deluxe. Because, well, even though it's convenient, because there's some games that aren't exclusive to the Switch that they didn't release on Switch. Like Star Fox Zero is an example, or all the Mario and Sonic ones are not been released on Switch because they release a different Mario and Sonic every year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every few years, because I'm pretty sure the 2020 Olympic Games one came out a few years after the Rio one came out.
Yeah, that one came out November of 2019.
Yeah, but I didn't get to. I got it my birthday 2020, Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. And then eventually I got Animal Crossing New Horizons Christmas Eve, or just basically Christmas 2021. And I've had it for a year now, and it still plays. Well, Switch games work just fine. But yeah, I know, like you said, yes, you don't have Bob the Builder on DVD yet.
I don't plan on getting any.
Okay, if you're not a big fan of the show, I respect your opinion, because I really, really like Bob the Builder.
Although I'm not against just checking it out, like with Dragon Tales.
Yeah, that and Dragon Tales still got to take a look at, but I know. I do want to tell you, yes, I do have some Bear in the Big Blue House DVDs. I only have the Bear. I only have the Tie Time with Bear DVD and the Bear in the Big Blue House live. Because unfortunately, these ones I'll have to buy that are by Disney. Because even though I don't mind, because Bear in the Big Blue House was the only thing I could watch, was the only good thing I could watch on Playhouse Disney. Even though it's a Sony show, it's a Jim Henson Entertainment, but I think Disney, they need someone else to do it for them. Yeah, Blue Hedgehog Man 17 says I bought the second Cube adapter Nintendo logo at my local GameStop 1 month prior to the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Okay, I thought you were going to say for Wii U version Blue Hedgehog Man, but whatever. And I bought the first model of the adapter Wii U logo off eBay. Okay, that's what I did too. I got the one with the Wii U logo on eBay because I'm pretty sure the one with the Wii U logo will still work on the Switch, because that's what I watched from Nintendo Collecting's video when he unboxed that adapter with that cool Smash Bros. Edition GameCube controller. Even though they look similar, if you got it with the one with Smash Bros. For Wii U, or you got that one with the Smash symbol. Well, the way you can tell you got it with Smash Bros. For Wii U is that it has the fiery symbol on the Smash logo, but the one that came for Ultimate has the simple Smash logo. That's how I can tell the difference. Even though, yes, it says it works on all consoles. If you have an old school GameCube or backwards compatible Wii with GameCube support, or you have the Wii U adapter, that'll work on all consoles. But yeah. Blue Hedgehog Man 17 says I didn't enjoy Bear in the Big Blue House much, but I enjoyed Tutter and also Luna. She was voiced by the chief from the Carmen Sandiego TV series and computer games. Okay, that's cool, Blue Hedgehog Man 17. I didn't know that. Yeah, like I said, I'll probably think of a way to get my saves onto my GameCube memory card. Like I said, once it arrives, because now it says it's now estimated to arrive Monday now instead of Tuesday.
Usually when I order something, it sometimes would come earlier than it says it does.
Yeah, like I said, mine was supposed to come Tuesday. Now it's going to come Monday. That's sometimes why I sometimes do trust Amazon. Yeah, it's like I said, I'm really trying to get some data for Mario Superstar Baseball. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, I know some of your GameCube games, unfortunately, sadly, don't work. Because I know Even though I'll tell you this, the games you have, yeah. All my Mario parties work. Smash Bros. The ones in my collection, Smash Bros. Melee, my copy of Melee, and the 4 Mario parties, and Double Dash, and even what were the others? Okay, I'll just say those ones because I think those are the ones I can think off the top of my head do work. My copies of.
Yeah, last I tested, my only copy of the only Mario Party that worked was 4 for me.
Hey, there's Flicka. Let me at him. Flicka, welcome to my chat stream, and we're gonna combine your stream showing your Clifford the Big Red Dog VHS and DVD collection.
Yeah, and I already showed mine earlier.
Yep, and we can still chat about other things too, Flicka.
Yeah.
How have you been? Great?
Yeah.
Great. I'm so glad we can combine your stream with mine.
And
Blue Hedgehog says,
I'm gonna turn the light on real quick.
Well,
I'm
I
getting,
think I
and
have to
Blue
get
Hedgehog
going
Man
now anyway.
17 to answer that question, I'm getting this orange memory card, this 1024 megabytes, and it has 2,043 blocks on each page. That's how I can tell if I want to have some pages. But I will use it on my backwards compatible Wii, so I can switch between pages without having to turn it off. And Gum's gone. You and me, Flicka, and Thomas Milky Fan 123. Okay, let's see what you'll be showing. And we can talk about other things too, because this is my chat stream, but we can include too.
This is a promotional VHS of Phil's Fair Share.
Gum says I did get going. Okay, Gum, well, at least you have to stay. Now I get to see Flicka's stream combined to mine. Yeah, I know Jake Barton couldn't join Flicka because he wanted to watch some of the. I understand. I knew what he said. I understand what he said. I understood what he said. Now,
And
most VHS of
it
Cleo's
turned
Fair
out
Share.
the only episode on this VHS is Cleo's Fair Share because it's 12 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't. Just has the episode after the very first episode, My Best Friend. Yeah. Showing that, look, I would tell you.
It was released
Mention date.
sometime in 2000.
Don't know if it was before. It was because I know my birthday was June. That's hard to tell with promotion.
Clifford premiered in September, so it was sometime late 2000.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that.
It says for promotional purposes only.
Yeah, not to be viewed anywhere otherwise. I don't think they'll sue you, or they'll just tell you not to play this tape. Even if you try to play it at someone else's place, it's a trick.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool because this is the only tape of the John Ritter Clifford series that I have with a sticker label.
Yeah, I think all the other tapes from here on out just have an ink label. Like every Thomas VHS tape, basically starting from Thomas Makes Someone Happy, they always had an ink.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't matter which version of Make Someone Happy out on VHS, if it was the black or blue one, it doesn't matter. Even though I want to try something really cool, put that rare sticker label of Make Someone Happy and scrub off all the on the blue tape, but and have the cool blue sticker label of Make Someone Happy.
I can see that when you've done your review of Playing Fair Makes Playing Fun,
That's I know what you're saying.
yeah, your rant on No Hitter was completely understandable. A lot
Yeah,
of people don't like that episode. I mean, if some people do like that episode, they can go ahead and watch it. But for those who don't like that episode, they should avoid it at all costs.
That's what I also told the viewers. Avoid Bully for You as well as Toss. As I was telling you, well, you show that first, look at finish that, and I'll ask you something else. Also, like I told you guys, you asked me before, your brother likes to play video games, correct? Does he have a? Do you guys have that backward compatible Wii that can play GameCube games?
Could you repeat the question one more time?
Oh, you told me yes. Your brother likes to play video games. Correct.
Yeah.
You guys have the video game console called the Nintendo Wii, but if you have the very first Wii, it can play GameCube games.
No, we don't have a Nintendo Wii, but we have a PlayStation 5.
Oh, cool! I don't have the PlayStation 5, but I really want it so bad, but it's so expensive. By the way, and while you're getting the next thing, and Thomas LP Fan 123, are you excited for some movies this year while Flick is getting the next thing to show his Clifford thing? Oh, wait, he's still.
All right. Now here's the first main Clifford release.
Oh, now
It's called Here Comes Clifford.
cool. Emily Elizabeth with a cute small Clifford.
This VHS was released on February 20th, 2001.
You know, get this. A week before Lady and the Tramp 2 Scam's Adventure released straight to VHS.
And it was exactly 2 weeks before the Dragon Tales videos Let's Play Together and Keep on Trying were released.
Oh, and also a week after Thomas's Trackside 2 into VHS alone. See, 20th and a week after the 3rd. So yes. So in between two things of a Disney film and a comics.
And it was also 2 weeks before some 2 new Dragon Tales videos, Keep on Trying and Let's Play Together.
Yeah. Tape. Oh, about. Thank you.
Here's a spine, and the spine contains a very small, squished up version of the poster art, believe it or not.
Wow. It's like DVDs they would squish it up on DVDs.
And as you know, this contains 4 episodes from season 1, because season 1 premiered from September 4th, 2000, and then it wrapped up in December 2001.
Wow, that's a big year in a few
Yeah,
months.
some of those episodes from season 1, they took a break from airing on some of those episodes. That's why it took so long.
That's what I think of something else.
Yeah, and like the first 17 episodes aired in 2000.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the next 12 aired in January 2001. And then the last 10 aired in October to December 2001. This contains the episodes Little Clifford, Welcome to Birdwell Island, Cleo Comes to Town, and A Fairy Tale. And to be honest, and believe it or not, Little Clifford and Welcome to Birdwell Island are their respective sister episodes.
Yeah, but I think of something
The
else.
12th episode of season 1.
It's kind of
And Cleo Comes to Town is episode 6 of season 1. And A Fairy Tale is the 2nd episode of season 1. And of course, there is this one part at the very beginning of A Fairy Tale where Jenna comes in and says, "Your dog is nothing but trouble!"
Oh my god.
Mr. Bleakman says a very similar line in Welcome to Birdwell Island when he's like, "And the big dog means big trouble."
God.
That's why I consider Jenna and Mr. Bleakman to both be one of my least favorite characters in the show. Even though I do like Earl Bone and Cap Sousey, respectively, interpreting their voices.
Yeah.
And the VHS tapes are 45 minutes long. Because each episode is like 11 minutes total.
Yep.
And like I said, ink label. And this has the standard font used for labels on artisan tapes. And but what's very interesting is that the back cover and the label read the copyright date of 2000. But what's also interesting is that at the very top it says, after it says violators would be prosecuted, it says copyright 2001.
Huh. Interesting.
And this came out in February 2001, which is very early 2001.
Very early. Yeah, maybe I want to ask you this, like,
What? What is it?
you know, these are the Dragon Tales tapes I might get. Like, if I my Dragon Tales VHS collection combined.
Sure, you could show your VHS collection combined, but
Well, the
I
releases
would
I'm gonna
recommend you
avoid.
get new Dragon Tales tapes that have new episodes never on DVD, because a lot of those VHS tapes are already on DVD. Like, look
Well-
on the bright side, it reuses the Dragon Trash episode Boy for You, which is also the last episode on the Don't Give Up DVD.
Well, if I did get these tapes, I'll probably have to avoid Big Brave Adventure. The reason why is because the Force of Darkness with Lord crying. But I can get Let's All Share. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to skip all the clues. The reason I have to avoid all the clues is because it has an episode I cannot skip, and it has an episode with no Cassie in it.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, they did not really have episodes with Cassie crying on tapes until 2002.
Really?
Look on the Bright Side would be the very first time where you see an episode with Cassie crying. Twice, actually. First in Cassie Loves a Parade, and then again in Bully for You.
But like I said, I'll probably just get only the two Dragon Tales tapes of 2000. You know, I can get over some of those episodes. Even if I have to get over Max Demi fighting at the beginning, Bad Shear Day, and
Alright, so now for This Is Clifford's Best Friends. That was also released February 20th, 2001.
Tyler Brown says hello. Hello, Tyler Brown.
It's got Emily Elizabeth. It looks like Clifford, Cleo, and T-Bone are playing together.
Yeah.
And the episodes on this one, they include the very first episode, My Best Friend.
Yeah, they didn't pair it up with the sister episode, Cleo's Fair Share, that promotional tape you showed earlier.
And then it contains False Friends, which is the second half of the 6th episode of season 1, which was paired up with Cleo Comes to Town on PBS broadcasts. And then we have A New Friend, which is the 8th episode of season 1, and that was paired up with the episode Stormy Weather. Not to be confused with the Dragon Tales episode, but it's the Clifford episode, Stormy Weather, where Clifford tries to find a place to bury his bone, but Mr. Bleakman and Emily Elizabeth's dad and Emily Elizabeth and Samuel would not let him. Before. But then a major storm arrives, and the town needs Clifford to dig a sea wall in order to save the library.
Oh, trying to save a library.
Yeah. By the way, and then so A New Friend and Stormy Weather are the 8th episodes. Are episode 8 of season 1, and then of course the last episode is The Dog Who Cried Wolf, which is the 13th episode of season 1.
I think this very first episode on this tape kind of reminds me of like the Cafe Blue VHS of Blue's Clues. They put the very first episode of Blue's Clues Snack Time as the final episode because it was never released on DVD, but the Dragon Tales very first episode was released on DVD.
Well, at least in this Clifford VHS, they put the first episode of Clifford as the first episode on this tape.
Yeah, kind of like, yes, they did do it. Dragon Tales Experiencing Things, they put the very first episode of Fly with Dragon first. And Thomas Gets Tricked VHS, Thomas Gets Tricked very first episode.
They also did it with the Arthur's Eyes VHS and DVD release as well. And
Really?
then they put the sister episode of Arthur's Eyes, Francine's Bad Hair Day, as the second episode on the VHS, and these are the only 2 episodes on the VHS, but there is a bonus episode on the DVD.
See, this is why I like to have DVD over VHS, like the more bonus stuff. Like VHS is shorter, but even though I don't mind watching previews,
And, basically what happens is in Dog Who Cried Wolf, like Cleo tricks Clifford and T-Bone into thinking they have seen Whiffy the skunk ghost, which Clifford and T-Bone repeatedly tell Cleo not to do.
like this one they tell Cleo not to do that.
Well, it teaches a moral, which is never to cry wolf or call for help unless you really need it.
It's like a pun on the boy who cried wolf. This one's the dog who cried wolf.
Yes. The pun in the title is pretty funny, but the episode itself, it's kind of meh. Because Clifford and T-Bone keep telling Cleo to stop playing tricks on them. Cleo just doesn't seem to listen.
Just like when I played with the Leapfrog Leaphead book, Life for Lessons book, a tad too much. Which I know that's one of the Leaphead books you don't have.
And then, eventually, Cleo gets skunked near the end of the episode, and Clifford and T-Bone come and save Cleo near the end.
Blue Hedgehog Man 7 says, okay, but I have to go now. See you later. Okay, see you later, Blue Hedgehog Man 7.
And then afterwards, Cleo had to go take a bath
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. And by the way, once again, same ink label, same generic font used for artisan VHS tapes.
Yep. pretty sure.
This one actually has a week and year code. It might have been recycled from another tape. For some reason, it is the 47th week of 1998. Even though this is a Clifford VHS, and Clifford didn't premiere on PBS until September 2000.
Odd.
That's not the correct print date. I don't know why this has a week and year code that says the 47th week of 1998, even though Clifford didn't premiere on PBS until 2000.
Yeah, it's kind of like I had a recycled tape of a print date week and year code of Thomas Benjamin wrote on the first VHS copy, where it's printed some week of 1999, but the actual week said the 38th week of 2000.
Yeah. And
These are the other Dragon Tales I'm gonna probably avoid as well, Flicka, the ones in 2002. These are the ones in 2002 I'm gonna avoid, Flicka. I'm gonna avoid the volumes. Not only am I gonna avoid Look on the Bright Side, but I'm also gonna skip Let's Stick to It and We're Special, because it has episodes with no Cassie I can't skip, unfortunately, and I have to unfortunately watch it.
And all right.
Yeah.
Now, this next one is a promotional Clifford VHS release by Artisan, and it's called Fun with Clifford. And what makes this a promotional one is, it may not be a promotional one, but it is a Kix exclusive VHS, which Kix Cereal has sponsored Clifford the Big Red Dog on PBS since the show began in September 2000.
Just like some cereals are sponsored for Dragon. Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes are one of them, and Rice Krispies.
This only contains 2 episodes on this tape, and they include Limelight Fright, which is the actual title, but for some reason the back cover says it's just called Limelight. For some reason. And then the next episode is Special Delivery. And boy, do I have to tell you, Clifford accidentally, he takes a package from the post office, and then Cleo is the one that encourages Clifford to open up the package, and then Emily Elizabeth becomes greatly saddened and disappointed that Clifford broke Cousin Laura's present near the end of the episode.
Oh, I'm so sorry for that.
And then Cleo is very, and then Cleo feels pretty bad as she thought she accidentally got Clifford in trouble, and he's like, uh-oh, I knew we shouldn't have hidden that ball. But luckily enough, Clifford doesn't really get punished in that episode, despite what happened. But she does say that everyone makes mistakes, and that next time he should be honest with her. Once again, standard label. This Clifford VHS actually has a print date.
Okay, that's good.
2 print dates, actually. One says October 18th, 2001, and the other says October 9th, 2001. This VHS might have come out earlier in 2001 because it's got that old Clifford logo from the VHS releases of Clifford's Best Friends and Here Comes Clifford. And like before, the packaging says 2000 on the back cover, even though
Yeah.
but this tape, it even says copyright 2000 at the top instead of copyright 2001, just like with, but on Here Comes Clifford and Clifford's Best Friends, it says 2000 in the packaging and the bottom of the label, but it says 2001 at the top. This one says 2000 on the top and bottom of the label, and says 2000 on the back cover as well. But let me assure you, this VHS was not released in 2000. I can assure you that.
Yeah. I noticed that too. Also, maybe if I do this flick up while you're grabbing the next thing of Clifford. I actually did an amazing job of singing a different version of the Cassie song from Dragon Tales, but I can actually do the version of but singing Thomas the Tank Engine all the way through. I can actually try it, do it myself. It literally goes Thomas So THOMAS. He's nice and cheap, but all right time. He's cheeky than any other engine put together. And
Yeah.
about to. He's the engine that is oh so cheap,
You know, that also
but a better engine.
he did one similar to Orange Shuffle, but called Gordon Shuffle.
He's foolish, truest engine. Oh, come aboard on Gordon's Express. No, it won't be bad. Gordon.
It's got a great big whistle that's so
Oh.
so loud and strong, and he can pull the express all day long.
It says Gordon shuffle round and round. Go. I think it goes to Gordon shuffle.
All right. Now, here's this next VHS release. Now, this is a 2001 VHS release of Clifford Tries His Best. This is also the very first VHS release to use the Clifford, the Big Red Dog logo, and a big white bone with a tiny yellow bone saying Scholastic.
Oh, cool.
And this Clifford logo would be used on tapes from July 24th of 2001, which is when this tape was released, up until July 23rd, 2002.
Yep.
Now, the front cover has Emily Elizabeth holding a bone for Clifford. Even though this VHS was released in 2001, it wasn't released on DVD until much later.
Just a while after that?
It wasn't released for almost 4 years on DVD.
Oh my god.
Because it wasn't really released on DVD until February 2005, even though the VHS tapes were released in 2001.
Yes, but even though we know it was
Fine. in the back. This has 4 episodes from season 1. Dog Park, which is the 18th episode of season 1. The Big Sleepover, which is the 22nd episode of season 1. Dog Park is episode 18B, so it's the second half of the 18th episode. The Big Sleepover is the first half of the 22nd episode of season 1, episode 22A. And Birdie Makes Free is the first half of the 3rd episode of season 1. And in Clifford's Doggy Reunion is the second half of the 4th episode of season 1. Now, let me tell you, Dog Park, when I've watched that episode, that really reminded me of the time the Giant of Nod screamed at Max in Much Ado About Nodlings.
Oh my
Because
god.
here, Mr. Bleakman actually screams at Clifford in that episode, and he even makes up the sign to ban dogs from coming into a park. Mr. Bleakman has gone completely too far in that episode.
But yes, I know the Giant of Nod is yelling much about Nod. Might be similar to this one, Mr. Blame.
Well,
Wait.
I can tell you what he says here. He says, Clifford, you scared my bird away. You and all your dog friends are ruining this park for all bird-loving humans, and I won't stand for it anymore.
God.
And then later on, he says, the city law says Birdwell Island Park was built for people, not dogs. And that's the way I want it. Tomorrow, I plan to spend a perfect day at the park with no dogs allowed. Man, this was probably one of the most infuriating Clifford episodes I had recorded once on PBS. Because I didn't expect this episode to be that bad. But it really is. It really is. If you get this VHS, try to avoid Dog Park at all costs. Well, it's on DVD, but you can't really avoid it, that episode, if you get the VHS. So if you get the DVD of this, you should avoid Dog Park at all costs.
I mean, like I said, I'll have to get to Clifford the Big Red Dog movies, unless Shout Factory makes a complete series. That's not okay.
But the other episodes are much better. You know, The Big Sleepover. The Big Sleepover, I kind of felt very bad for Clifford in that episode because Clifford is very depressed because he misses Emily Elizabeth.
That's kind of like similar to the Dragon Tales one of when Cassie is worried she misses her mommy and daddy, her brothers and sisters.
Yeah, there was a Dragon Tales episode with the exact same title as the Clifford episode, believe it or not. Both of them having Clifford and Cassie having missing people, believe it or not.
Yep.
And this is, well, at least Clifford didn't burst into tears, but he let out a very long howl.
Well, that's what dogs are supposed to do, just like in real life.
He's like, well, I miss Emily Elizabeth. Ow! And then for And Birdie Makes Free, there's this one scene where Clifford teaches Birdie how to fly, which I find that to be Yes, Mr. Blakeman does appear in it, but I find that episode much better than Dog Park. Clifford's doggy reunion. This is when cousin Laura and her dog Rex come to visit. And you know who voices Rex in that episode?
Who?
Frank Welker, who is the voice of Fred Jones in the Scooby-Doo series and the voice of the man with the yellow hat in Curious George. "45 minutes. This one does say 2001 on the packaging, which is correct.
You said fixed.
And this has the generic label like Artisan Tapes. This one doesn't have a print date or week and year code at all.
What a shame.
Yeah. And
Also, when you're grabbing the next one, Flicka, Tyler Brown says, "How am I?" Great, Tyler Brown. Also, when I get these Dragon Tales tapes, Flicka, season 2 ones I can probably get easily.
yeah, and
Like, I know you have the DVD for I'm Afraid, but I can probably get the VHS, though. I can probably get the VHS.
well, at least on the VHS, they use the correct audio in the Sony Pictures Television logo.
Like, on the VHS of Where I'm Afraid.
Yes.
Maybe I should get the VHS of Where I'm Afraid. It's not too hard to find it. You just gotta look hard. I want to get it in brand new, but I have to get a new VCR first.
All right. This next one is a 2001 VHS release of Clifford's Schoolhouse.
Schoolhouse.
And it was also released on July 24th, 2001.
Yep. The same day Thomas Best of Percy released on VHS alone. Like I said, Best of Percy did not release until July 23rd, 2002.
And also, this contains 4 episodes from season 1, which are Teacher's Pet, which is the 15th episode of season 1, the first half, the 15th episode of season 1. Then there's Nobody's Perfect, which is the second half of the 14th episode of season 1. Clifford and the Beanstalk, which is the first half of the 7th episode of season 1. And Get Well, which is the 27th, which is the second half of the 27th episode of season 1. There are 40 episodes of season 1 in total. And when I've watched Clifford and the Beanstalk, it was kind of weird to see this, but this is actually, Clifford and the Beanstalk is actually the only episode where Clifford is crying.
Oh my god.
And you know why? Because Clifford thought that the Jack and the Beanstalk play was real until Charlie reassures him that it's only pretend.
Yeah,
You know, Clifford cries after hearing Emily Elizabeth saying, "Mother says I must sell you. I shall miss you so." And the way Clifford cries, hold on one second, I might have dropped a couple of things.
It's okay. I wasn't doing anything. I know you did it on accident. I wasn't doing anything. Tyler Brown says, "Did you know what Tom had a show called Thomas Fallen?" Yeah, it's terrible, Tyler Brown. I don't recommend the reboot of Thomas Fallen show. Avoid it 100%.
That's why I'm always going to stick with the 2000 series. of Clifford the Big Red Dog with John Ritter in it.
Well, anyway.
And, well, so, as for Clifford and the Beanstalk, like I said, this is the only episode in the entire Clifford series from 2000 where Clifford cries. And he actually, the way Clifford cries, he goes kind of like similar to a dog whining in a way.
Well, yes, it's similar to a dog whining. Real. I watched the live action Clifford the Big Red Dog movie 2021. Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't think I've ever seen a scene where Clifford was crying, but I know that one scene where Emily Elizabeth had to do it while crying, wave goodbye, while Philip was sad.
Well, at least he wasn't like that in, well, at least she didn't cry in the episode Little Clifford from the 2000 series, on the other hand. Even though that episode has similar plots to the film,
Yeah.
and I'm surprised they didn't put any bonus episodes of the 2000 series in the film. It would have been cool if they included a couple bonus episodes of the 2000 series for the film.
I don't know what choice they could have done because I have the Blu-ray of Clifford the Big Red Dog back in 2021.
And as for, now I'm going to go over what happens. So basically, for Teacher's Pet, T-Bone is nervous about his first day of doggy school.
At least he doesn't act all bad. Unlike a cool school where Max was really angry. Well, he's nervous and then he's angry. But this one, T-Bone at least trying not to act the same way as Max
And
did.
then at least Clifford and Cleo are there to help T-Bone feel just fine. And of course, in Nobody's Perfect, Charlie wants to try juggling, but he can't really do it because he's not much of a good juggler.
I think like they tell him try don't give up. Do they tell him if at first you don't succeed, try again at juggling?
I was surprised that they didn't even say if at first you don't succeed, try again in that Clifford episode.
But in Dragon Tail Sky Soccer, yes, they did.
And I already meant now some more things about Clifford and the Beanstalk. Yet I only mentioned that this is the only episode with Clifford crying. Well, but Emily Elizabeth is the star of the school play in that episode. Jetta somehow forgets her lines in that episode.
Almost similar to like when Max is worried he make no mistake.
Yeah, and then for Get Well, it's an episode. As for the episode Get Well, Emily Elizabeth is sick with a cold in that episode. Emily Elizabeth is sick with a cold in the episode Get Well, so Clifford, Cleo, and T-Bone have to go find some stuff to make Emily Elizabeth feel better. That episode reminds me of the Dragon Tales episode at Kite for Quetzal, in a way.
Yeah, actually, I do the part from a Kite for Quetzal when I'll be Quetzal this time. Don't tell me ghost. I've got to
Whoa!
You did Max's bow,
Yeah.
and then I do Zach's germs? That will be sick. Then I'll have to stay in bed. And Mom will have to take temperatures and make me take yuck medicine. Ugh, I hate medicine.
And also, basically, these episodes, unlike Clifford Tries His Best, where there was at least one bad episode, these episodes aren't really bad at all. Now, here is the ink label. Once again, it's got the same generic font used for artisan VHS releases, but that changes with the next release. Because beginning with the next release, they no longer use the generic artisan font, which I'll show you why in the next release. Yeah. And,
Yeah. Also, Splika, I would like to have all Dragon Tales sing-along on VHS. Both the two that are on VHS and I already have the two sing-along on already. I'm trying to get that song singing VHS of Dragon Tales, but it's so hard to find.
all right. All right. Here is the next release, and it's released on November 20th, 2001. And it is Clifford Saves the Day. The cover for this tape is a little worn, especially since I had this VHS for the longest time, ever since 2003.
Wow. I mean, that's like me. I had some of these comic tapes when I was a kid, but I lost the boxes.
And the front cover has Clifford running by a fire truck. And this has 4 episodes. Stormy Weather, which is the second half of the 8th episode of Season 1. Islander of the Year, which is the second half of the 15th episode of Season 1. Circus Stars, which is the first half of the 9th episode of Season 1, with Limelight Fright being the second half of the 9th episode of Season 1. And as for Special Delivery, that is the first half of the 2nd episode of Season 1, in case I didn't mention that when I showed you Fun with Clifford. And then for Clifford on Parade, that is the first half of the 20th episode of Season 1. Now, Stormy Weather, I already talked about the plot for this one. Islander of the Year, they talk about why they choose to be Birdwell Island of the Year. Circus Stars, now that is very similar to the Clifford episode Get Well, because someone catches a cold. But in Circus Stars, it is not Emily Elizabeth, but it is Gordo the Elephant who catches a cold. And because Gordo the Elephant catches a cold, Dr. Din tells the kids that there's not going to be a circus because of that. But then Clifford makes an idea of having him take over Gordo while Gordo is recovering from a cold. And then the next day, Gordo feels much better, actually. He and Clifford then both participate in opening night at the circus. And then as for Clifford on Parade, I have to talk about this episode.
Oh,
Basically, well, don't worry, it's not as bad as the dog part, that's for sure. But in that episode, Emily, Elizabeth, and Charlie, they are arguing and fighting about what kind of float to make for the big parade. And then Clifford is thinking about what to do to make Emily, Elizabeth, and Charlie stop fighting. And then he comes up with an idea, like Charlie wants the float to be a pirate float, and Emily Elizabeth wants it to be a basketball float. But then Clifford comes up with an idea, let's saying a basketball pirate float, and then Emily Elizabeth and Charlie are surprised that Clifford made a float with both of their ideas, but then Charlie thinks that maybe they should come up with a brand new idea that's for something that everyone likes, and then they have a hot dog while they're thinking about what their float should be. And then they make a hot dog float, like with Charlie dressed up as the mustard and Emily Elizabeth dressed up as the ketchup. But despite these flaws, I would consider Clifford on Parade a good episode, unlike the dog park, which was bad. Now, beginning with this tape, they no longer use the generic font for artisan VHS releases, but they actually, from this point tape onward, use the actual Clifford the Big Red Dog logo, and then they have the title in the label being read in the Comic Sans MS font, which was actually used for the Clifford the Big Red Dog TV series itself. Which is something which I believe is actually much better to have tapes with its very own Clifford the Big Red Dog logo, with the title read in the actual font used for the Clifford series instead of the generic artisan font. Instead of the generic font used for artisan tapes. So that's something new. That's actually pretty interesting.
yeah. Also, like I was telling you earlier, would it be cool if I had all the sing-along Dragon Tales released on VHS, including songs from Teen Titans? And I could get Easy as One free on VHS. But like I said, I don't want my VHS collection of Dragon Tales overlapping the DVD, because like I said, there are only 17 Dragon Tales DVDs. I don't want the VHS collection overlapping. Like I said, I think the only reason I would get the We Can Solve It Together on VHS is luckily there's an episode with nobody crying in any of the episodes of VHS, but on the DVD, unfortunately, there was one of the 2 bonus episodes where one of the minor characters does cry.
Minor character, not a major one.
Yeah, not a main character. If I got the VHS, it'd be no problem for me to do it all those balls.
All right, and here's this next one, and it is a 2001 VHS of Clifford's Fluffiest Friend Cleo, which was also released on November 20th, 2001, and these are the first titles to actually be released on DVD on the same day as the VHS.
Yep, it's cool. Like, yes, Thomas Friends Best Comics first episode comic out at the same time as
And this contains 4 season 1 episodes, Fluffed Up Cleo, which is the first half of the 19th episode of season 1, Cleo's Fair Share, which is the second half of the first episode of season 1, which is also on the promotional VHS of Cleo's Fair Share. It's also on this tape. Friends Morning, Noon, and Night, which is the first half of the 30th episode of season 1, and Two's Company, which is the first half of the 36th episode of season 1. This about Fluffed Up Cleo. Cleo brags about winning a blue ribbon, but then Mac brags about all the trophies he's earned, and this makes Cleo feel really uncomfortable. But then Cleo realizes that she was acting bratty earlier, so she apologizes near the end of the episode, which is good.
at least she did the right thing. Yeah.
And then for Cleo's Fair Share, Cleo is afraid of sharing her new toy with Clifford and T-Bone. Because she says that sharing is too hard.
I like Dragon Tales way. Or maybe Bad Sharing. I don't know.
It kind of reminds me of the Dragon Tales episode To Kingdom Come when Ord didn't want to share the Dragonberry cupcake. In a way. But these episodes actually aired around 363 days apart. So, all right, so, and then for Friends Morning, Noon, and Night, Cleo visits Clifford's doghouse, and then at one point, Cleo makes a lot of noise while Emily Elizabeth is trying to do her homework, which makes Clifford feel pretty annoyed and disappointed with her.
Something else.
But at least Emily Elizabeth doesn't get in trouble for not doing the work, despite that.
That was good.
And then for Two's Company, Cleo hangs out with Casey when she comes to visit, but then near the end of the episode, she realizes that if she doesn't see her old friends, that she could lose them. After Casey tells Cleo that she should care about her old friends in addition to Casey. "45 minutes. Same labels. And I have a lot of Clifford VHS tapes. So.
Yeah. Also, I was watching this Flicka on Dragon Tales Singing into Dragonland VHS strip. They had some bonus songs. They took some of the songs from Let's Start a Band onto the VHS strip of Singing Dance Dragonland. I think one of them they put on there was probably the Wake Up song. I'm not sure.
All right.
Well, you know what it is. Wake Up song. Dragon.
All right. This next one is a Canadian VHS release of Clifford's fluffiest friend Cleo from Alliance Atlantis.
80. I usually don't like having Canadian eye collection. Well, yeah.
This VHS is roughly the same content as the US VHS release from Artisan. The only differences are it's got a different FBI warning screen and it's got the Alliance Atlantis logo. And it strangely cuts out the feature presentation screen, even though the US VHS has the feature presentation screen. The Canadian VHS cuts it out and goes straight to the Artisan logo after the Alliance Atlantis logo. Interestingly enough, the back cover says 45 minutes, but the label on there says 40 minutes. So the running time is like 5 minutes off in the label. And I already talked about the episodes, so that's why I'm going over the Canadian releases quickly.
I know you like that. Also, like I said, yes, I was trying to say everything out. All the sing-along releases of Dragon Tales on VHS. But I know you don't have any of them on DVD yet. Jack, I hate Big Red Dog. I respect your opinion, Jack.
All right. Now, this next one is a VHS release of High Flying Fun. And what makes this VHS pretty interesting is that this VHS says compliments of Brock's, like the makers of Clifford Fruit Snacks.
Never heard of that.
And this only contains 2 episodes from season 1. They include The Big Fetch, which is the second half of the 35th episode of season 1, and Captain Birdwell's Treasure, which is the second half of the 31st episode of season 1. And as for The Big Fetch, it says that Baz is new at being paperboy and is struggling with getting the papers onto the people's doorsteps. And then Cleo discovers that she can earn treats by helping out, and then she recruits Clifford and T-Bone, and together they help Baz. But then Cleo forgets about helping and is only concerned about the treats. Shouldn't she know that helping someone out is more important than getting treats?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, and then as for Captain Birdwell's Treasure, that's when Clifford and his friends find Captain Birdwell's lost trunk filled with wonderful items brought to the island long ago. But for some reason, Jeddah is accidentally credited for the discovery, even though she was the one that did not find the trunk in the first place.
That's weird.
And then it says that, and then although she knows that telling the truth is the right thing, she can't really seem to resist the promise of a gold medal award. But then she realizes that they aren't fun to get when they're not deserved, like if you're not given credit. This tape is only 22 minutes long, hence why it only contains 2 episodes instead of the usual 4. Label. This has a print date of September 12th, 2002, even though this is a 2001 VHS.
Wow. You know that. Also, I can probably get Believe in Yourself also on VHS Alpha while you're grabbing the next release. Even though I have it on DVD, I could get Playing Fair Makes like fun on VHS. At least the bad no hitters episode is not on that.
Well, yeah, but I can see why I can see why you don't like no hitter, because Ord acts just like what Cassie acted like to Spike when Max kicked Ord's tail.
Probably see something about that. Next one, Bernard G-Force says hello. Hello, Bernard G-Force.
This next one is the first ever VHS release of Clifford the Big Red Dog, released in 2002. And that is called Happy Birthday, Clifford.
Kind of like I can read the Thomas Happy Birthday comics.
A month before season 2 of Clifford the Big Red Dog premiered.
Oh, cool.
However, despite season 2 premiering in February 2002 on PBS, those Clifford VHS releases would still continue using season 1 episodes only on all the 2002 releases, as it wouldn't be until 2003 where they finally put season 2 episodes on the VHS and DVD.
Kind of like Dragon Tales. For season 2 episodes, they didn't have them on season 2 episodes on until 2003. Even though, yes, Let's Start a Band does have their season 2 animation song, but they didn't have any season 2 episodes on DVD.
And this contains 4 season 1 episodes, The Best Party Ever, which is the second half of the 10th episode of season 1, and that's where Emily Elizabeth plans her birthday party, but then Jenna says that it sounds too boring. Then Clifford and everyone else make Emily Elizabeth's birthday a backyard blast in this episode.
Backyard blast.
Clifford's big surprise. This episode, Clifford celebrates his birthday, but nobody wants to play with him.
Kind of like Ord's on Happy Birthday, Dragon, but not like Joe's surprise party from Blue's.
Well, at least, in Ord's Unhappy Birthday, Ord is like pretty depressed in that episode, but as for Clifford's big surprise, you know how Clifford feels when no one wants to play with him? He doesn't feel sad, but he just feels bored.
Oh, different being depressed and left out.
He's like, Cleo and T-Bone can't play till later. Emily's busy. No one else is around. Boring, boring, boring. And then for Potluck Party Pooper, it says that Emily Elizabeth's neighbor, Mr. Bleakman, won't come to her potluck party because he just wants to stay at home. But then Clifford and his friends have a plan that even Mr. Bleakman can't resist. And they try something called an ice cream pizza near the end of the episode. And then as for the episode It's My Party, Jetta invites her friends over to watch videos, but then she only wants to watch her own home movies. But then the kids get an idea to make their own movies, and and it says, guess who's the star? So basically, the best party ever, I could say that one's a pretty good episode. Clifford's big surprise, I would say that because of Clifford being bored in some scenes, it does seem to drag it down into the meh category. And for Potluck Party Pooper, I would say that episode is also a meh because of Mr. Bleakman being a party pooper in that episode. That drags it down into the meh category. But it is not a bad episode. No way. But, and then for It's My Party, that also goes into the meh category because Jetta doesn't, because Emily, Elizabeth, and Charlie, and Baz, they all get bored after Jetta only wants to watch her own home movies.
Huh.
Label, and for some reason, the Family Home Entertainment Kids logo is far below the label than usual.
Be right next.
Usually it's supposed to be up here, but it's down here in this label. And for some reason, even though this is a 2002 VHS, it says 2001 on the back cover of this VHS.
Yeah, kind of like how on the back.
They fixed it on the DVD.
Yeah, it's kind of like how, yes, on the back cover of the Thomas VHS Best of James, summer 2001, even though it came out in March 2002, and at least that one they fixed on the DVD.
This VHS came out in January 2002. Happy birthday, Clifford.
Yes, kind of like I said.
The DVD didn't come out until like March of 2002, so it wasn't too big of a gap.
No, usually they could release it at the same time, but I guess people don't really want to do it however they like. Do whatever they like. Also, there's some other VHS tapes I am going to avoid if there's an conflict of Dragon Tales, which are both Do the Right Thing and Let's Be Friends. Because you told me about No Hitter, yes, the Let's Be Friends VHS I'm going to avoid. But I'm also going to avoid Do the Right Thing. Even though it has 2 episodes we've never seen before, I unfortunately have to sit through the Much Ado About Noddling's episode.
And if you got and for some reason, my Dragon Tales VHS of school is cool incorrectly has the Let's Be Friends tape inside of the packaging.
Yeah, but I know, like I said, it's kind of
unfortunately has the bad Dragon Trash episode No Hitter on there. I was expecting the School is Cool tape to be on there and not the Let's Be Friends tape. but I have not popped in the Let's Be Friends tapes, so that's good because I've seen the episode No Hitter before, and although you can't stand it, I still hate the episode, but I can at least sit through them without having to get so furious.
But look at your next clip.
This next one is a Clifford the Big Red Dog VHS release called Puppy Love, which for some reason was also released on January 15th, 2002, even though it could have been released in February, but it was actually released in January.
Yeah, they released it less than a month before Valentine's Day.
This also applies with a VHS release from 2003, which I will get to later.
Time. I've been doing 3 hours. Shots going on 3 hours.
We'll just show you the VHS releases of Clifford that I have, but then we'll show you the DVDs another time.
Yeah. Hopefully we can.
This one contains 4 season 1 episodes, which are T-Bone Dog About Town, where this marks the first appearance of T-Bone's girlfriend, Mimi.
Oh my God.
And T-Bone puts on an act to try to impress Mimi, but then he soon realizes that it's better just to be yourself. And as for Clifford's big heart, Clifford's looking for the biggest, reddest Valentine on Birdball Island. I wanted to like this episode, but near the end, there's one thing that drags it down into the meh category. And you know what that is?
What is
Mr. Blakeman's tantrum near the end of the episode.
God? Seriously?
He's like, what happened to my rose bush? I was growing these roses for Violet's Valentine's Day bouquet.
Silly old.
And yes, Mr. Blakeman's voice does choke up when that happens as he almost cries, but and then for Mimi's back in town, this is another episode where you get to see Mimi. And it says T-Bone feels so happy to see Mimi again, but for some reason Cleo keeps teasing him about it. Eventually, T-Bone gets fed up with Cleo and he says, I wish that Cleo would just be quiet!
Oh my God.
That makes Mimi's Back in Town a meh episode as well, due to Cleo's teasing behavior. And then the best gift. That one is a very cute episode. Yes, Jetta appears in it, but she doesn't really do anything bad. She just convinces Emily Elizabeth that she has to buy her mom a fancy birthday present. Yep. 45 minutes is the running time, like most of those Clifford tapes. And just like with the VHS of Happy Birthday Clifford, the VHS of Puppy Love has the FHE logo appear in a farther below the label than usual. And the packaging does say 2001, even though it is a 2002 VHS.
Cool. I think I will keep on trying because well, as a and I will get that. I might get the Let's Play Together VHS, even though it doesn't have any bad episodes. even though it has an episode just like called Roller Coaster Dragon. And you are already on.
All right. This next VHS release is from July 23rd of 2002.
Yep, same day as Best First Day
And it's
released on
called Clifford's Big Halloween. For some reason, this VHS was released on July 23rd, 2002. It should have been released on a day like October 1st, 2002 or something. That could have been a much more appropriate release date rather than July 23rd.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird, if you know what I mean. To have a Halloween release be released in July instead of October.
Yes, that's released. Halloween.
But despite the title being called Clifford's Big Halloween, there is only one episode that is Halloween related.
Yeah, just like on Halloween Adventures, none of these episodes make sense to be on Halloween.
The only season 1 episode of Clifford that is Halloween related is Boo, which is the first episode on this VHS, and it is the second half of the 11th episode of season 1. Clifford's Carnival is the first half of the 4th episode of season 1. Leaf of Absence is the first half of the 14th episode of season 1, and Come Back Mac, which is the first half of the 11th episode of season 1. Despite this VHS was released in 2002, it contains all 4 episodes of season 1 that aired in 2000, even though there were episodes of Clifford that aired in 2001 that were released on VHS before this VHS was released.
I also know that like the SpongeBob episode.
And yes, season 2 only aired 8 episodes in February 2002, but then the rest of them aired in September, October, and November 2002, and February 2003.
Yeah.
Now, how I'd rate these episodes, Boo is a pretty good Halloween episode. You get to see the kids dressed up in Halloween costumes. That's pretty cool. Mac even dresses up as the mysterious ghost dog. Mac even dresses up as Frankenstein in that episode. Clifford's Carnival doesn't really have anything to do Halloween related, even though it does take place in the autumn time.
Well, autumn for Halloween is adjustable for itself.
And in that one, Jenna doesn't seem to do her job for the school carnival, and as a result, the hayride is left without a tractor. In other words, Jenna left the tractor behind.
Oh no.
And then Leaf of Absence. Now, that's a very interesting episode because Clifford, Cleo, and T-Bone are jumping in a pile of leaves. And then T-Bone, and then Clifford makes a promise that he won't let anything happen to T-Bone's leave, but in spite of saying this, he just can't resist jumping in them, and he breaks the promise, and then he feels bad about what he did.
Yeah.
A strong wind blows all of T-Bone's leaves away after he jumps into them. And then Clifford and Cleo have to go fetch for T-Bone's leaves that were blown away. And then and then T-Bone comes back from playing a game of fetch with Sheriff Lewis, as T-Bone says in that episode that he has to play fetch with Sheriff Lewis. And of course, afterwards, Clifford then realizes that he should only make a promise if it's one he can keep.
Yeah.
Now, and then as for Comeback Mac, Jetta loses her sweater, but then she loses her pet dog, Mac.
Oh no.
And there was and then Jetta is excessively worried in this episode that Jack may not come back. But then we find out that there was a reason why Mac ran away, because he feels ashamed that he ripped Jetta's sweater. And that's why he can't go home. And he is afraid to come home because he thinks that Jetta will be mad at him. Sure enough, near the end of the episode, Jetta is greatly disappointed that the sweater is ripped, but he's not really mad about it. She's just not happy about the sweater being ripped, but she isn't mad at Mac. So that's good.
Yep.
Now, this is actually a recycled tape from the Tough Cardio Mix, but I popped this in. It still plays Clifford the Big Red Dog, Clifford's Big Halloween, since that's the tape that it was recycled. So that's the tape that covered over the recycled one, and it still plays Clifford the Big Red Dog despite the tape being recycled from the firm Tough Cardio Mix, which is a good thing, as that's the tape that was recycled from something. It doesn't play the recycled tape. It plays the tape. It plays Clifford like it should, even though it is a recycled tape.
Yeah. Also, discounting the other release, I would like to try my VHS collection. Dragon Tales doesn't overlap with DVDs. Look at that. I'm going to avoid Big Brave Adventure, Ball the Blue. Also, Do the Right Thing and Let's Be Friends. All those ones. I got those. There was a sing-along releases, season 2 ones, including one 3 episode. It'd be up to a certain amount of number, as well as let's all share. You can do it.
All right. Now, here's this next VHS, which was also released on July 23rd of 2002, and it's called Go T-Bone.
Yep.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't make a Clifford the Big Red Dog VHS involving Mac in it, but they did make one of Cleo and T-Bone, so that's good. And this contains 4 episodes of season 1, even though this was released on VHS at the time the first 8 episodes of season 2 premiered. Now, the episodes on this tape are Doing the Right Thing, which is the first half of the 13th episode of season 1. And if I said that The Dog Who Cried Wolf was the first half, The Dog Who Cried Wolf is actually the second half.
Yeah.
And then Tough Enough, which is the first half of the 17th episode of season 1 and one of the last episodes of Clifford to air in 2000. And then Ears Have It, which is the first half of the 16th, which is the second half of the 16th episode of season 1. And then Saturday Morning, which is the only episode on Go T-Bone to air in 2001, as it is the 28th episode of season 1. The second half of the 28th episode of season 1. Now, doing the right thing, T-Bone finds a lost toy, and he inadvertently steals a hedgehog toy. And, he feels pretty bad about what he did. So bad, in fact, that he keeps having nightmares about the hedgehog toy at some point in the episode.
I can have some.
And then after T-Bone has those bad nightmares, T-Bone decides to make the right choice to give the toy back to Mr. Kibble since it belonged to him in the first place. There's a similar plot that happens in the Arthur episode Nerves of Steel, which Buster steals his cyber toy in that Arthur episode. But you know what happens? Unlike the episode Nerves of Steel, which Buster gets punished for stealing, doing the right thing, T-Bone doesn't really get punished at all. In fact, Mr. Kibble and Clifford and Cleo are proud of T-Bone for doing the right thing, for giving it back, for giving the toy back. And then for Tough Enough, T-Bone wants to be a tough little bulldog so that Sheriff Lewis would like him more. But then he finds out that people should love him just the way he is. He doesn't have to act tough in order for people to like him more. And for Ears Have It, that is when T-Bone is very frightened of the loud fireworks because of loud noises scaring T-Bone. And then in Saturday Morning, T-Bone feels left out and alone because Sheriff Lewis has to go to work.
I know work.
But there are some good pieces about this episode. Like when Emily Elizabeth gives Clifford a bath at one point in the episode. Now the running time's 45 minutes. Here's the tape. I also have the Canadian VHS release of Alliance Atlantis, which I'll show you next.
Okay. I also tell you, I know you don't mind me listing off some comics releases you're still missing on DVD. I wanted to tell you that there are some other comics I know you're still missing.
All right. Here's the Canadian VHS release from Alliance Atlantis. Basically the same packaging, but it's got the Alliance Atlantis logo and stuff. But look at that. It does say 45 minutes in the label, just like with the back cover, unlike Clifford's fluffiest friend Cleo, which accidentally said 40 minutes in the label instead of 45 minutes. And after the Alliance Atlantis logo, this does have the feature presentation screen appear before the Artisan logo, just like the Artisan VHS of Go T-Bone. Unlike the Canadian VHS release of Clifford's Fluffiest Friend Cleo, which apparently cut out the feature presentation screen on the Canadian VHS.
Yeah. Hope you don't mind.
That was all the 2002 releases. Now we're going to get into the 2003 releases.
Oh, okay. We'll see if we can do as best we can. It's already past 10:16. It's already past 15 in my area.
There's only 4 2003 releases, and then there's only 2 2004 releases that I have, and only 2 2005 releases. So
See if we can combine this. This can be part 1 of the stream. Combining this with my cat.
Alright, so basically, here's this first release from 2003. Now, if you notice, beginning in 2003, the packaging is completely different now. They took out the bone that said Clifford the Big Red Dog, and they replaced it with a yellow banner with bone-like ends. Now, this is the very first VHS to contain Clifford the Big Red Dog episodes from a brand new season.
Yep, finally.
This is the first release where we finally get to see episodes from Season 2. In fact, all 4 episodes on this tape are from Season 2. With Clifford the Pirate King, which is the second half of the 16th episode of Season 2. Princess Cleo, which is the first half of the 9th episode of Season 2. King Mac, which is the second half of the 15th episode of Season 2. And Flood of Imagination, which is the first half of the 19th episode of Season 2. Now, Clifford the Pirate King, that's a pretty interesting episode because Clifford goes to Charlie's houseboat for a Treasure Island party. And then for Princess Cleo, Cleo has a crown on her head, and then that makes Mac point out that Cleo is a princess, but then Cleo orders Clifford, Cleo, and T-Bone and Mac, but then Cleo orders Clifford, T-Bone, and Mac to do things for them, and then Cleo feels really bad about what she did. She's like very ashamed of herself for her actions.
Of course.
And then for King Mac, that's why Princess Cleo is meh. King Mac keeps quiet when King Mac, man, I had to tell you about this episode. Basically, what happens is, at the beginning of this episode, T-Bone and Mac are playing soccer. T-Bone then makes a mess, but Mac gets blamed by Jetta for the incident, despite T-Bone making a mess and Mac not making the mess.
Oh my god. Can't say who was the one. I like how
It was very close to giving King Mac a bad rating, but it is a pretty low meh. Because basically, T-Bone makes the mess, but Mac gets blamed for the mess. But then, Mac acts all sneaky in the middle of the episode, but then at the very end of the episode, he feels pretty bad, and then Mac finally tells the truth that Jetta was not mad at him for the spilled garbage, but because he tore her stuffed rabbit.
oh, poor stuffed animal.
And then for Flood of Imagination, that is a pretty good episode because it rains in Birdwell Island and everyone makes up stories. Well, the dogs make up stories. Well, and Clifford makes up a story about how he was driving Emily Elizabeth from school, driving a car, even though Clifford is a dog. And they have some fun with it. There's like interesting stuff in this episode. There's basically they tell a story about how a big green ogre captured Emily Elizabeth and taken her away to his castle. And then well, that's what makes this story very interesting. But then Clifford imagines himself as a knight in shining armor who finally rescues Emily Elizabeth near the end of the episode. That is one of the best episodes of Clifford the Big Red Dog that I have seen. All right.
Yep.
I just showed you the label for King Clifford in case it had a sticker label.
I think we may do the rest outside if you don't mind. Oh, wait. Grab it.
Well, I'm off now.
All right, Thomas, LP fan 123. It's just me and Flicka. See ya.
All right.
All right, just me and you, Flicka. I think I may have...
Now, as for King Clifford, that VHS was released on January 21st, 2003.
Yep.
This was just about a month before the series concluded entirely.
Yeah.
Now, this next release, Be My Big Red Valentine, was also released on January 21st, 2003. And interestingly enough, one of the 4 episodes on both King Clifford and Be My Big Red Valentine was already released on VHS before it aired on television, believe it or not.
Wow.
Flood of Imagination aired on PBS in February 2003, even though it was released on VHS a month earlier in January. The same thing applies with the episode Wedding Bell Blues on this VHS of Be My Big Red Valentine.
Yeah.
Now, for Cleo's Valentine surprise, that's when Cleo gives Clifford and T-Bone a special Valentine's Day gift, but then she gets jealous that she doesn't get a gift in return. But Casey reassures him near the end of the episode that they do love Cleo's Valentine surprise, so they haven't forgotten about her after all. And then for Big-Hearted T-Bone, that's when T-Bone is having a hard time keeping his promise because he wants to hang out with his sweetheart Mimi when she's in town, but he already promised to watch Cleo's niece, Kiki. And then for Wedding Bell Blues, Miss Carrington makes an announcement that she is getting married, which is why she won't be Emily Elizabeth's teacher anymore. And then Emily Elizabeth worries that her new teacher would be mean.
Oh. Like, this one episode of Arthur, like, you know how...
Despite the fact that it just says that Emily Elizabeth worries that her teacher would be mean, that doesn't mean that Emily Elizabeth is the only character that is worried about that. Heck, even Jetta is worried about the character being mean, about Miss Grumbly being mean as well. even though the description says Emily Elizabeth worries that her new teacher would be mean, it's not just Emily Elizabeth that worries, but Jeddah also worries about the same reason.
Yeah. Also, Flicker, can we take the rest outside? My brother just texted me saying he's coming home right now.
Sure. You can go right ahead.
Okay. Sure, you just hold off on the tape and I can do the rest outside.
All right.
Alright, here I am, Flicka.
All right. So as
So,
I was
yeah,
saying
let's
about
finish
Wedding
off.
Bell Blues, the description says that Emily Elizabeth worries that her new teacher would be mean, but she isn't the only character that's worried about that. Jeddah is also worried about it for the same reason.
Yeah.
And I think, and believe it or not, Jeddah actually complained even more than Emily Elizabeth did in that episode about Mrs. Grumbly.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's just because, yeah, Jeddah is a very snobby character, unlike Emily Elizabeth, who is not.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and, but then later on, near the end of the episode, it turns out that Mrs. Grumbly is actually a very nice teacher. And that she finally learns her lesson that it's a good idea to wait until you meet someone in person before you decide how you feel about them.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just keeping an eye on the time, Flicka, because I've been going on for 3 hours, 30 minutes, over 3 hours, 30 minutes on this stream I've ever done. So I think when it gets close to 10:45, we'll stop.
Yeah.
But I'll take my camera inside, and then I'll put my camera back on to say thanks for being part of my stream. But yeah, let's finish off this tape and then we do anything random. And this will say this will be part 1 of your stream combined with mine.
Well,
let's just finish off this tape first.
We have 2 more releases from 2003 to cover after this, because there's not that much 2003 releases.
Okay, well, let's just do those quickly, and then we'll do something random until 10:45, or before 8:45 in your era.
And then as for Special T-Bone, T-Bone is not sure what makes him special until Clifford reassures her lots of things, but T-Bone really wants to find out what makes him special for himself. Then he finds out what makes him special is that he makes people feel better.
Wow. Good for him. But yeah, I also know I know the Dragon Tales VHS tapes. I don't want them to overlap my DVDs. But even though I would like to get some Clifford DVDs or VHS tapes, like I said.
Now we go into one of the releases from July 22nd of 2003.
Yep, released the same day Thomas Jane's The Red Balloon, released
And
on
as a
VHS
result,
and
this is one of the last releases of Clifford the Big Red Dog to be released when John Ritter was still around.
Yes, this was less than 2 months before he passed away on 9/11/2000. Rest in peace.
Yes. Here's Lookout Clifford. Originally, they were planning to make a third season for Clifford the Big Red Dog, but the idea was canned right after John Ritter passed away.
Yeah.
And instead, they made a spin-off called Clifford's Puppy Days. Now, released on July 22nd of 2003. Now, this is one of the releases released after 2002 that has all 4 episodes from season 1, even though it is a 2003 release. And this includes Clifford's Charm School, which is the second half of the 38th episode of season 1. Best Paw Forward, which is the second half of the 29th episode of season 1. Clifford's Hiccups, which is the first half of the 33rd episode of season 1. And Itchy Patch, which is the second half of the 7th episode of season 1. Even though it is a 2003 release, which it's pretty interesting, actually, to see a release from 2003 have all season 1 episodes, but the previous release afterwards contained season 2 episodes, which is interesting. It's nice to have episodes from an old season right after episodes from a new season were released.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Here's a tape for Lookout Clifford. By the way, for Clifford's Charm School, Clifford learns how to behave properly for Mrs. Bleakman's party, but he ends up making the party a big success by just being himself.
Really?
Yes. And then for
That is
Best Paw
interesting.
Forward, Clifford becomes a hero despite his paws being oversized. And then for Clifford's Hiccups, the neighborhood is shaking because of Clifford's booming hiccups.
Yeah.
And in an Itchy Patch, Clifford can't stop scratching.
Oh my god.
He is constantly very itchy. He is very, throughout the rest of the episode, he is also scared about going to the vet.
Just like when Zach was scared of going to the doctor and calling Dr. Zach.
Yes. And so that was Lookout Clifford, and I already showed you the label for it. It's an ink label.
All right.
There's one more release from 2003 that I have to go over.
Okay, then we can do something random.
And that is also released on July 22nd of 2003.
Yep,
And
same day.
it is called Big Fun in the Sun.
That makes sense for it to come out in July because they're doing the water.
Now, this is the first time where we get to see a mix of episodes from season 1 and season 2.
Yep.
This one contains one episode from season 1 and 3 episodes from season 2. Camping
That's
It Up
interesting.
is the second half, the 10th episode of season 2. Hooray for Cleo is the second half, the second episode of season 2. Home is Where the Fun is the second half of the third episode from season 1, and Lights Out is the second half, the 19th episode of season 2. Now, for Camping It Up, Jetta thinks camping will be boring, but then Clifford shows her that all you really need is a tent and a little imagination. It's a good episode. Hooray for Cleo. The dogs accidentally think that Cleo is a beach ball champion, but then Clifford demonstrates to her that it's not being the best that counts, but it's doing the best you can. That is also a good episode.
That's cool.
Home is Where the Fun is. That's the episode where Jenna gets to go into a big city to see the remarkable Titanic Tower. But Clifford takes Emily, Elizabeth, and Charlie on an amazing adventure right at home. And now for Lights Out. That is another pretty bad episode. You know why?
Why?
Because Jetta's baby brother, baby Cosmo, screams and cries hysterically because the power is off and he wants to watch silly fairy tales.
Oh, just like when Finn threw a tantrum and Finn's blankie in every single scene.
Yeah. That is what makes Lights Out one of the very bad episodes of season 2. I didn't want to believe that there could be a bad episode from season 2, but honestly, Lights Out is an awful episode because of Cosmo's screaming and tantrums and crying.
Oh my god.
And I'll tell you what she said. She's like, silly fairy tales! Wah! That's what it was like.
Oh my god.
Well, if you get this VHS Big Fun in the Sun, avoid the episode Lights Out at all costs, because apparently you cannot skip through that episode as it is the last one on Big Fun in the Sun.
Did they? But is this released on DVD as well?
Yes,
Or
it
is it-
was.
Okay, because luckily I can skip it. That's why I want to get the DVD, so I can probably avoid it. But if it's unfortunately the last episode on the
Lights
DVD...
Out is a very bad episode of Clifford the Big Red Dog. Cosmo acts like a major crybaby when the power goes out, and he wants to watch his show Silly Fairy Tales. Even Jenna gets annoyed with Cosmo because of Cosmo's tantrum.
Oh my god.
And that is why Lights Out is what makes this a bad episode. Although there are some good parts to it, like when they go out on the beach and and Jetta pretends that Mac is the wolf from Little Red Riding Hood. That's a good part about this, but apparently this is one of the only things I liked about this episode. And
Yeah.
also, as for, you know what I think should have been a much better episode to close out the VHS of Big Fun in the Sun? If they have replaced the episode Lights Out with fishing lessons. Because in that episode, nobody cries. It's an episode where Charlie keeps putting off a promise to teach Emily Elizabeth how to fish. Sure, it's not that good of an episode, but definitely not as bad as Lights Out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just keeping on the time, look at the close.
Because if yeah, that's why That's why you should avoid Lights Out at all costs, because if you get this VHS, you'll have to listen through Cosmo's uncomfortable, infuriating tantrum.
But if it's on the DVD, but if it's the last episode, I'll have to unfortunately select each episode, kind of like I did with Thomas' Ultimate Friendship Adventures.
Luckily, there are only 2 episodes of Clifford the Big Red Dog that I find very bad. Those being The Dog Park and Lights Out. All right. That was a tape for Big Fun in the Sun. But anyway,
But yeah, I'm good.
it's already about almost time to go.
But yeah, before we do that, before we close out, mind if we do something really quick? Look, since I forgot to chat about something cool, I would like to do my own Guess the Voice impression stream, my personal self, and you and Jake Martin can absolutely join. And I would like to, well, I'd be the host, and you guys can still be doing great voice impressions, guessing them from my perspective. And well, that's what I would possibly.
Do you think my conversation about the Clifford episode Lights Out was totally understandable?
Yeah, it was. But yeah, and it's 10:42, so I guess we could do a quick impression. Because I was saying, I'm planning to do some Guess the Voice impression streams for March this year for me. For this March, I would like. But yeah, but let's do it. Let's do. Okay, it's 10:43, so I would do a quick impression. I'll do it. I'll start with it. Yo! I stepped on something really, really sharp.
Spiny Pine board.
Oh, it hurts.
Oh, Saki, it'll be okay.
Maybe we should try and take it out. Oh, I don't know.
I helped my mommy take out my sister's splinter. She felt much better.
Be careful, Cassie. Yo! Oh, don't touch it anymore.
Well, I can. All right. Now you did a great job of my impression, and now it's my turn.
Okay.
Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Nobody told me it was gonna be dark in there.
Why do you think they call it the Forest of Darkness?
But it's really, really dark. There might be monsters in there. Big, huge, hairy, scary monsters.
We'll never find Ord. Not even in a gazillion years. Never ever. Ord, please stop crying. It's not so bad in there. Please stop. Please come back, Ord.
I can't get the star seed because I'm scared of the dark.
Yeah. But anyways, and
I
but
hope
yeah.
you enjoyed Moving Game Lover 98 stream. I'm just gonna sign out and let Moving
Okay,
Game
Flicka.
sign out.
Okay, Flickus. Hopefully it gets Well, anyways, yep, hopefully you guys enjoyed my chat stream for January 20th, 2023, and hopefully stick around for another stream coming possibly soon. So yep, see you guys later for another stream coming soon.